Emma Mahamudu Bawumia Kolikono. A party could not handle Abronye. Now, for a party could not handle Abronya. You are telling us today, say Achia Abronya, it is Ghana, we have been gagged and nobody can speak. Are you people stupid? And the most stupid people in Ghana are the intellectuals sitting on TV and on radio. Then you quickly come and say, oh, John Mahama, you are changing. What has John Mahama done here? These decisions these people took are personal decisions. Abayo yes mokakaya yanku John Mahama na na yire yanku ene de no at the end of the day a miracle abuaje na share sa akura no o man sa confidence no because miracle beka kire say I'm releasing all of you, go and insult the president, go and attack people. But miracle abuaje the alternative so ontumi ndi Mahama atem ontumi ndi ne hira atem because onimumra no but onisamo MPP for nkwa mo agimi. This guy Abronya, Oyejuma Bawumia, in fact, Bawumia committee, the communication committee, Abronya is the head. Kwasiafo, you cannot speak to Bawumia. He is one of the most foolish politicians in Ghana. You know that? Because, open power, the guy who is leading your communication continuously, the guy you are paying, you have set up a studio for, Abronya Kwasiawe, your regional chairman, Mahamudu Bawumia has gone every length to protect Abronye. But you people sitting on TV and radio, you have refused to tell Bawumia, say, we're Jimmy because he's the one who is behind Abronye doing this job. The Abronye ye debia ye chino, the Abronye ye bia debia ye ne kone ban. It is Mahamudu Bawumia who is protecting Abronye. Oni na ye tua Abronye ka. Koto de ne bodje, Kevin Taylor, Mahama ne tua meka. Na kwasia we hone tua ne ka. Na mo Jimmy nti. Mo maamenom omo nyanyim we yi ase because e yie no mo pe. Ye form we yasi o ma wo munti muntumi ndwene. Cannot think. JFK is the general secretary of the party. Na party amutimi no semra wom na the leader of the party no onjimi no nimunyansa. What is he supposed to do? He's supposed to even avoid Abronye. He's not supposed to associate himself with Abronye, but he went further to make Abronye what? A communication member in his communication committee. Kwasiafo. So I want to ask, mo party nimra na party na mutimi kwa mra nim mo person ba abuse Ghana mra. We have a constitution that governs the nation. Inti kwasie bi eye bibi na enya. We as a nation, we have the right to apply the law. Inti mibu so na nado dan kwa Kufuado. Time na power na ye chinkofo, etata nkofo, ebu nkofo tu no. Did you say it was a Kufuado who was doing that? Did you people say it was Nana Dankwe Kufuado who was doing that? You people refrained. And then some of start aka Ghana honsem aka sansem where almost at oh winning BB. Abronya the oya no yen nyina yemfo aso. Nancy Kevin Taylor abua wasifin. Gina Abronya de no so, Gina MPP ne so, Gina Bawumia no so. Na ka kire Bawumia no say nya kwase na wo ya nipa na okasama no or say party no show leadership. Muyamu timu kura na mublemu Mahama kwasiafo muyamu kamu na muyamu hwia Mahama muntumi nne mudibo fronkwa na muntumi nne Mahama. Me say you people, your political party, any rules and regulations ana? What were you people able to do? Time Abronya Edis Ankwasam, you people were even angry. Mwana moti MPP fin we ya amanfo bi di kronosika etonton ansa sedete ye no. Eno kra no mo pese emraye adwuma. So the general secretary had to write to the disciplinary committee to make sure so much naso. E dey in see ye, dey nom dey Abronya. What did they do to Abronya? Na mo tete Ghana nkwasiafo ye njai bibia na meka mo ho asem because mo the question here is a whole party, a whole political party. You could not tame this dog. Ghana Mrakes Dina, the radio say we are going to make the country ungovernable. And Muama a yasema, mo yanyimu yase, Moma Menuko yase, na omukosia, bogus in hiaphobia, na omonio makofa you for near oh, Mobu Bodam. A yasema, Munimunyansa. People think Ghana is about you people. You people think say because we are talking principle here. Into Bawumia the principle way and the MPP need opportunity to talk. You about power. You bear 10 times. Na mama power. You ampena mama power. You stop people from coming to power. How are you going to do that nonsense? Jimmy. Party no in one the you can't reason. We are talking about your own political party that could not even tame this dog Abronye. Now in the Ghana Mrachina, most of Montiasie, you ever see Abronye Jimmy and General Secretary Kan, DNC. I mean, sure, dear. Thank you, Mr. S. My member be Binchamo. And Moa, Namujin say, a coronet no more Panama Mona Namu be with the Ahum. Inti, most of them Jimmy want to Tamuha. Now, Yenja Bibiama Moa. Listen to this.
Will be our social media. This time around, Chairman Broadness had to work as this my committee 2023. A bra of Nabaka Japan, a coca showdown once a month. And your party needed. Me friend a cat is on abo, Jaja Mempo. Men a question feel, and then the Casa said, Debbie, but don't call this my committee. The general dramatic. Or call this my committee, or man, let's say, can was and my recommendation, I'm going to buy and say, or man, and Casa. I caution and say, or a party penny, man and Casa has him. Okay. Then, anyway, I brought that to me TV so, Casa. This my committee, recommendation, I'm going to buy, say, ye need honorable Kennedy in free party. Okay, I said, I'm more conference in about who be in a free. No, was say party. Then General Secretary reports nearby me and a matna reports no so. And you know, and I say how? Say oh your original chairman, oh ne embro party no so. Try a do baby ubeka say be a party no nipa ya relax kakra because they do to say contest the more kasa ba ko ni bo ebu etimi fro achi echire ne no akasa with the oil no winjai elkoso but you were live wo ho a otra now person chese so wo so same party no okay every said how can you regional chairman sit down and say this private committee the report about ya kase empam party penny bin film about report bia anyone sir was about general secretary din e won say me na matna sa report no so we enye misinformation say bia o cast am keku we dey attack a person direct say what go nipa din wom and say me say me yin kofo din afri abom and dey na umu bi edi and na woka but the moment I go assume of being tin there it move from misinformation and say a breach of duty it's me petition and a general secretary me and my petition and will come wa kafa no it's me can say me try my income have a can was tell say what petition me am petition this my committee say asema wa ka no obeyin ho no e say no kwabia ni wo say sa asem no akoso income and that's all be so do party ni mo and I said obi anya be man so do party ni oh your regional chairman understand your regional chairman you are not bigger than the party. Say the party brave do crowd national chairman and general secretary and one important say now what better say the take my party and say it's me away but I am this my committee a chair for be in the dance here yeah share you am quarter this my committee and no more so mu 2 afase mu na kwa say dey bia no be ya de general secretary nkan wasem general secretary say party ne boame and they can do me shame and say general secretary more power to suspend people but now can the party has come you free party oh send the pay 2 million but can me constitution no can say the maker say make my operate as officer of the party make my coordinate activities.
This is just the party they were angry omo person the party mra eden eyi free mu kwasiafo you people sat in Ghana what now party ni mo General Secretary ni katre mebutu yan chance ke be nipa be 1000 free party them as a constituency chairman as a regional chairman I kwasia party kura want to handle you see how it is mo party fun tantan we some mra did you apply the law mo call this one committee dey see here mo ya moa ba wo mia na mo ndili the guy is not a leader he's a chipmunk or a kokuo he does not understand governance he does not understand leadership Adiabechi, where can go as someone or prison or no hagi no dinkwasiafuachi, a man who is a man and the Burma Jinaso, San Kwasiadonye. Ghanaians are not waiting for a chipmunk to lead us. Until we are talking about Abronya being sponsored by Bawumia, party na mutin mo say obi bumra so eya mo ejimi fo kura mugumi mo pese obi beti amra. Foolish people like you mo amumu nipa enye social media and people like us, we've been able to put together our own TV and come down who try Ghana for ntro someone ananum nyina Rollins ku mo nyina and come down who try Ghana for ntro someone ananum kerosene Rollins be kan nyina tugu ye eyi asefo ma motete Ghana munnim nyansa de bia na yenka asam to obi so this chipmunk Bawumia leading you group of idiots. He's not a leader, but today ya chinkwafo a Mahmudu Abronye. After that, they don't say this is Abronye.
Are competent to the extent say there's nothing you can do about it. And I just have it here. And Sankofona, Wama Ponto Nanado, Ponto to the Supreme Court, Wamunano, Sekandis in our combat withdraw Mama Sefrabera. Unimsa. Because Omoya super competent. And this in almost and come your politicians. And this in almost no crap and the combat withdraw my for Bidia Efrabera. Because when you power there and sign Hano. Mama, because of chronic alcoholism, no, I weaken in mind. You see? Because of chronic alcoholism in Tino. Men seven be a weekend in mind.
And Canasa.
Sana mecano. Sa on Tiasia, oh, inside Numbi, but inside Yada Megino. Yes, oh, Yansa, Nemana, or an inside Yas any life. Can be over Quani Pamunoa, boy, and until you cancer answer no. Madam, I come say, John Mahama, the spokesperson here. On you know what dance you do. Oh, Master, more hot than just a member see your men for crown and metro. No, okay, what dance I may catch we. What it? Oh, yes, Sika $50 million. What's in region for Sika? Sika, oh, you Sika. Yet, to us a young family developmental project $50 million. Our Watson region. Oh, yes, Sika as a vice president, you know. Asanibedi police headquarters police near or jina mucho or twhwe mu chi do mama che on na wi sika no police ni na yira, and that is John Dramani Mahama na man yira ye one kai say Ghana ye fna Mahama international community platform so speech e kita no na papers ni bi no anam say no abu
kai say e ECOWAS meeting answer no e ECOWAS chair no and documents rabani and me ni no abu and na me ni
no abu. No, I want to or the table, no, so in some table not so or sister papers in page 2 nim, page 3 nim, page 5 nim. Met what the President Mahama Gnaho, Nina Pontis, met Messabia, Yamu, Pino. But that's a kind of Mekasika, no, but to a mebotu. May catch the MPP need Biate, and this need to ask a kind of trying to be called report to police in Babia. Police near mania on the castle who preach violence and violence. Say, San Quasia, Una, Wamodia Statino, and this need to ask a kind of Tanibi, and Cobo Police mania. We are Quasia. One in Yansana, and this and your Oma shall see a boom dripping whom videos nibi. Miss Madamaka, may you can't do such nonsense because here, Meme Regging, so Boo a Sampa, Mamma Buan this in you Sunana on your read.
These are the people they are defending. Social media. MPP. These are the animals. MPP for MPP bebree. Mama say we keeping ma oh, Brakomna, now go Germany, dear. Then understand about Abanatana Cham, your point, ya chame, Adevachin on him, not come Naco Germany, Onimne Papa. Okoshani wakipin and say, hey, Brad from Pon, Akobra, Amakune, yo, hey, what's the own talking is about Kumame? Adevachin on him, no, a year say, anyway, keeping MPP in Kwasia 4. So today, you see, they are being picked up. And also, with this uncle, I said, when you want to be TV, that is what they do. Missing social media ma and people like us nyambo MBA TV and come down catch Ghana for say JJ Rollins ba santimembe gu ebe butu omo kerosene tuguye. This is what they do. Asemo kan oni engineer so ba akokra oba odene ti okasa gudu so na hwe mmobo oba one ne te no a obie na no kasa gu no so no anaso ade we kesere no oba ne de wanya jata na eso ya mokua me nwanwa. And this is what we have been living with. Speculations, sensationalism, lies. That is the NPP. Anything that they are struggling. It's right now, no, they cannot make their cases. They have to target people. Wait, Yankas why say, wait, never say it will not change the fact. The fact is say a day na munya when it comes to these kind of things. It's an chair bronya. Na kwasiabiti radio say Ghana free speech is under threat, it's under siege, and kwasiafo siege. A yasema. We're keeping a sema. You people have no knowledge, no sense. Let me show you something here. Eh? Kofora Namono, one of the vindictive, wicked old men in Ghana. Eh? Oh, so Abronya same way, Sibia Ekikako. Now, this issue of Abronya Ekika same way, Ghana Bar Association, Mumusomo say, I didn't know release this statement. We are not NPP aligned. Statement on Afenyo marking comment being prepared. Afenyo Gina TV so ekache judge say o ejimi fo Afenyo marking kwasia bi no. Ni tinu keke wure one Samira ko share dem so me wusa akokɔ Samira na nkoye duro no kwasia o yire ne wo ma no me wusa nkokɔ. We are here. Afenyo marking one Samira tra dem etuma Samira so onko eduro so na me wusa akokɔ. Sa asem we Afenyo marking kan from the day he spoke against this judge. Mibusa the Ghana Bar Association say, Afenyo marking as some kind. Why haven't they released a statement? You know why? Because the Ghana Bar Association, it is an MPP affiliated association. Do you know the president of the Ghana Bar Association? Do you know the president? The president of the Ghana Bar Association. Let me show you. Fuagati, elected first female president of Ghana Bar Association. Efuagati, Joe Gate Yire, and the president of the Ghana Bar Association. Joe Gate was a presidential candidate of the NPP, a former attorney general, railways minister. Kwasiafo, we sit in Ghana, and some people manipulate the system. Afenyo marking kasa a yak of 5 days. The Ghana Bar Association, they cannot get English. Afenyo marking is a lawyer. Afenyo marking, he is a politician, a lawmaker, and a lawyer. And Joe Gate, a Ghana Bar Association, being led by Joe Gate, this woman. Only Joe Gate in a stage year campaign, this woman. MPP Bar Power, Ghana Bar Association president. Ask them, why haven't they been able to release a statement on Afenyo marking's madness? It is because it is going against the NPP. They don't even know the kind of words to use. Omo per words to use are omo offended Baumia, omo offended Kufuado, omo offended omo tribal party. No, they don't know how to go about it because the lady who is leading the Ghana Bar Association, she is married to Joe Gate, who is a former presidential candidate for the NPP. This woman was on stage, and it's enough in your marking. The GBA cannot release a statement. The GBA needs to be nullified. Kwasiafo, we sit in Ghana na omo didn't kwasi some chenipa. Now, I'm tell how bad these people are. You see. I'm sure the NPP. Then time I say Kufuor, Kufuor is a nice man as a dad. Kufuor is a nice man as a husband, an uncle. Kufuor is a nice man as a family head. Kufuor as a politician or a cromfor or a re. Bibi or politics be a time. Kufuor na ye cromfutetua mo abetina Ghana so. We are Ghana sick and there baby or no. Kufuor is not anybody who should respect in politics. As a father, respect him. As a husband, respect him. As an uncle, respect him. As a family head, Kufuor as a politician is a dirty man. Oba Otam Ghana SN and Onkuta Ghana passport. He made his girlfriend the advisor to the finance minister. The woman said Kufuor is promiscuous. Kufuor jantreni. It is not my word. These are reported statements. I'm not sure idea. I'm not sure how dirty Kufuor is. I'm not find room now. Here, you see the story. This story. Kufuor, Attorney General, wants Tachu jailed for longer. This is 2008. Joe Gate and Kufuor Attorney General. Do you know what happened? Time Kufuor manipulated system, a change judges, a force court, no, a mom jelly chachuno. Joe Gate went to court, say 5 years in this, Joe Gate, what's the way? This is the MPP for you. When Chachu was jailed, Kofo Sakache Joe Gate say, Uncle Court, no kwa appeal, say, yes, na edema Joe Chachuno esa, na omufe binkaho, what's the wemo. Let me read a story to you. Ose Kofo, me enka Kofo asem. Political bevo, we me enka asem. The state has filed a notice of appeal of the 5-year jail term handed down to the former chief executive of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, Chachu Chikata, to be increased. Na Jogate ne Attorney General. Kwasiafo. Koto de ne bodwe. Mufin. Eya sema. We keeping a sema. Enjankan kwasiafo amanya baby atena. Ye kan Ghana asema chichire Ghana. What you say yankwara? Jogate, Kofo told Jogate to go back to court and make sure Chachu gets 10 years. Kofo bun some way, political bun some way, mami kanasem. Yeka Kofo sana mukoko ne muheni abete. Adani yeka Kofo asem. Na Kofo wine. Who the hell is Kofo? Kofo was a politician. We are feeding Kofo with our own taxes today. Opa Onchole Tankasa, he needs nothing from the government. Kofo will not be able to survive for 24 hours. We sit in this country, this is what they did. According to the state, the sentence given by the Fast Track High Court Judge Justice Henrietta Aban in June was, in quote, not appropriate, having regard to the gravity of the offense, end of quote. Jogate ko court. Kofo ekache Jogate say, Jogate go to court and tell court to say, you still don't agree. Sentence ni swa for become. Then we cannot talk about Kofo Adente or Asantini. Na Asantini yo area, me an kanasem. Asantini o kromfo me an kanasem. Asantini na or the your presidency air bojantra me anka. That guy was a mess. Jay Kofo was a mess. Into mun just like Jimmy Sana Gano, me anka Kofo asem. Who the hell is Kofo? Nanko the sticker for the inquiry we billionaire go politics. You people, mo kram me charge more. We need to get some things done in Ghana. We need to be straight with you people. That is what they did. And that is what they think say. Yeah, the whole 1972. Oh, say, Omu Jimmy, or TikTok. That's how we share our videos when you know, it's either Wound to Me FM, either Abronye, or a Morris Ampao, Aquana Netwachia, Netukruno. That is what they do. It is an MPP thing. And I'm going to share my Wound to Me video at TikTok. I don't know Kwasia. Oh, yes, I'm a young and Yadidia some more court. And Chairman won't be the court na osu. Was science say was tuto 2 man call for Nipa Faso Ghana. Was campaign with the chairman of a party. Then the the court na osu. Tell me now all censors and ye. And the only chairman won't be video at TikTok around the Yamanyoma twasie. Oh, Yami be you a free say, we nyan. This is what they did to Chachu. And come almost Kofo na on tiasie. Jogate nko anything Jogate yire and the oya GBA boss on to me release this statement against Afenyomakin. It's an MPP affiliated group. The foolishness in Ghana. Can't you people see clearly? Muntumi hu de eko. MPP omo Jimmy. Don't give them any opportunity to lead Ghana. Me mama any opportunity. Ba obia is a koliko. That adjective, that consonant, that man who cannot even differentiate between his dick and his leg. This guy cannot lead anybody in Ghana. Yatina Ghana, na a Jimmy for Kasakasa, ni about power, over power bedding. What do you say, Nyai? What do you say, Jimmy? Ya tampa on number I had, what the power in bed, and what about ye? What about to my handful? What about Dinkwasiasam? Ya penyansa from Mobumaya, some more MPP for Nyansa, ni ben a departing. Nobody has been able to come out boldly to criticize Abronye. And there, when say Abronye no, because Abronye Baomiana sponsor no, kwasiafo, money Baomian kasa. We're not the president no. When you're serious, ye jinem, yambo unraifa. Now let me break something down to San Kwaran na omudi MPP china MPP AU zumu se muano. Let me break something down to you people. The betrama there. Because it is some time I was somewhat tin maybe I say. No man I want to be asking anything mubi bebre mubeko jail no.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law. No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law. No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law. No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law. No matter how many.
Now let me break something down to Monkwarana. Me say any 2028, now more MPP4, now half of you, now more than an ex-convict. Yeah? This is the Deputy General Secretary of the MPP or whatever. Muntieno, you busted something about Abronye T.
You're a good politician. No doubt about that. This is my question to you. I'm saying, do you endorse, because I'm pointing out to the names mentioned in what Dr. Mahama Government has released. Abronye, do you endorse his kind of politics?
Yeah, he's doing very good politics.
Oh, yes.
He's doing very good politics. And he's doing so within the remits of the law.
Doubt about that. This is my question to you. I'm saying, do you endorse, because I'm pointing out to the names mentioned in what Dr. Mahama Government has released. Abronye, do you endorse his kind of politics?
Yeah, he's doing very good politics.
Oh, yes.
He's doing very good politics. And he's doing so within the remits of the law, having been a student of law.
You don't feel this will cost you a lot of public backlash, giving concerns about how inflammatory his comments can be sometimes?
It depends upon the person that is seeing it as inflammatory. Because if somebody sees that what Abronye has said is wrong, the person should stop doing what he's doing or she's doing before Abronye will also make those particular comments.
Including Kennedy Ejapon?
I have not heard anything about Kennedy Ejapon.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
But you are the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP. You haven't lost sight of the kind of heated exchanges that we've seen publicly with videos attached. You can't tell me you haven't watched that between Abronye and your immediate past presidential aspirant, Kennedy Ejapon. He's had cause to, in fact, caution now your flag bearer and his camp to be watchful of the kind of politics he's doing.
You see,
You see why I was asking if you endorse the kind of politics he's doing?
I have the responsibility of an oversight responsibility of party activities.
Yes.
But I don't have oversight responsibility of people's personal...
No, I'm not asking of personal commentary. That's why I'm asking if you endorse this type of politics. He, in fact...
I said until
when
you
were
point
doing
to me...
Why did you end your reconciliation tour?
Why did we end... we never did the reconciliation tour. Oh. We did a thank you tour.
Okay, but it wasn't...
And we never stopped it. We finished it.
You finished it?
Yes.
But Abronye also dismantled a portion of it, is it?
Never.
He never. Haruna, have you watched the video? Did you watch what happened between Abronye and Kennedy Ejapon?
He made a comment.
Yes.
And he wasn't happy with the comment that was made. Elders of the party sought to look at the commentary.
Oh, so they called him.
There's a dissatisfaction.
They called him.
And when you make commentary,
no, I'm asking your elders
I am
party.
saying that elders of the party looked at the commentary and engaged the two of them.
Oh,
because
they did engage the two of them.
Engaged, but nothing had stopped the
so
entire
his politics
conversation.
wasn't healthy for the NPP.
Nobody, your activity, what you are doing today,
yeah.
There are others that will not be happy with what we are doing.
Obviously.
Myself, what I am also doing, there will be people who will not be happy. So you cannot, there's no perfection.
But if your own party elders have concerns with Abronye, why shouldn't the state agencies have concerns with him when he's making inflammatory speeches?
But when President Mahama came in his first term, he appointed 3 wise men. It means that he himself saw that he was not perfect. Was he being picked up by any other person?
No, that doesn't answer my question.
No, but I don't need to answer your
question. I go for it. Jimmy. Where's your tenure? Me catch him say, MPP in tough for a moment. I saw Murumania Momo Biniedi. She, this is the Deputy General Secretary of this party. Yabusa Paul Admochina and say, are you a lawyer? Or say, oh, if somebody is not a lawyer, then I'm not a lawyer. Oh my Jimmy, that's how they think. Oh my great is a local. What is locomotive? Russia for more locomotive. Kohona kuhulu. Omugiri is some local. Your question will be answered by Odema. Yabusa na Abronye asem no. Also, the Abronye de no no. Also kasa sa because so one kasa sa. Omo ye de omo ye no munjai. You see? Any Yabusa say, oh, now the Abronye aye na mo party no actual letter say ye twina so say de on ti. Oni krampo de ohun ye. Wey. We mu na omo mankofo bi kwan say sremufo de bi ye sremu dwan. Owura MPP mu anu adan sremu dwan. Jimmy Kasebi Oka. These are the people who want power. Jimmy, me see, MPP omuna jine pe ama say kako. Kakolization reasoning. Their level of reasoning is a kako emu mani mema. This is the Deputy General Secretary of the party. These same people, Afenyomakin, you know how ODD judge at Temno. This is what Afenyomakin said. Time and more power. Afenyomakin now, and then Afenyomakin did judge at Tem Emma MPP so more petition CJ Kwasiafo.
I would want to say that it's a day to celebrate the judiciary. Yes, Mr. Speaker. Except that, Mr. Speaker, we have to be very consistent as a political class in our celebration of the judiciary. Mr. Speaker, I agree with the position taken by the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. No executive arm of government can manipulate the judiciary arm of the rep. Mr. Speaker, it must never be said that the judiciary is under the control of the executive. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Haruna Idrisu is a courtroom practitioner, just as I am. You were a courtroom practitioner. One of the things that we were taught at the bar was to accept the decisions of the court. And when we are not happy, we should go up. And that is how we enrich the law. Let us understand that there are situations where we disagree. And even when we disagree, the language, the approach is essential. Mr. Speaker, an impression is being created that the Supreme Court of Ghana is only there to handle partisan political cases. It is not so. Mr. Speaker, if you disagree with the system, use the system to correct it. It's a matter of course.
This was when Oko court in less than 12 hours, Tokonu, or didn't Sakonu Tokonu to and a Tokonu man judgment. You see, the Lojina court taker. The court is perfect. If you disagree with the court, go up. Don't make any utterances against the court. Kwasia we are 2 days ago. Judge. They have no principle. They work like pigs. They eat this, they eat this, they eat this. Later, they use shit as their dessert. That is the MPP. They are like pigs. They eat this, they eat this, they eat this. When they eat shit, they eat it as dessert. You see, yesterday, this is the same person in parliament telling us to say, Tokonu amani judgment. Or the secretary Tokonu to amana Tokonu de in 12 hours, Tokonu amani judgment. Ojina parliament. Say, so court, Nasa what court in the best thing to do is to go up and seek for their clarification. At the end of the day, Sawako appeal high court no menya or court tokonu or Nensaka in Tianji judge into Sawako court cry now on sa anka the opa men kasentia court and a judge no and the Kwasiampenyi way. A relegated Voltarian, a desperate person who wants to be accepted by people in Winneba. He's telling us, say, Judge Nia Kwasia. This foolish guy, no principle. He eats this, he eats this, he eats this. Okawe, or we are now a deep biniguso. That is his dessert. Then he goes to beg. A dirty man, no principle. And these are the people that we see them as lawmakers. And I keep telling you, we are not going to take anything from anywhere. Their own receipt. Their own receipt. We are not going to go anywhere. You need evidence for every single day. Very dirty riffraffs. No principle. It would seem some people need car someone there now. Now won't Jimmy because these are flip-floppers. These are people who don't have principle. They just go by the shit. Whatever they eat and they get satisfied and belch, they go to sleep. That is the typical MPP. And that is what you just witnessed on your TV. Jimmy, sir, they think so be a Jimmy or Ghana because the foolish masses, JB Dankwanakaye, the foolish masses you'll be able to convince them when you are in the MPP. This is a political party that is talking about intellectuals. Not Chairman Wood to me is running as the general, the national chairman of a party. There are people who are talking for them and this whole party. Now, my mention young people now with the MPP, the ignorant ones. I'm with social media, at TikTok. No, my catch them say, somewhere and say, yeah, a buy way, you do 2028, almost I bet twice, so I could do 2038, 58. No, now my ex-convicts. I am telling you, here, my mention my dear, I'm Imran da Ghana, no, you might think say Imran Ghana until say Imran bet show. But I think that some of you people don't really understand what is going on. You see this? I mean, some breakdown being shown. Insult. Attacking somebody's feelings. That is insult. One with TikTok, Facebook. Now, an insult is a derogatory, demeaning, or offensive statement aimed directly at a person to hurt their feelings or pride. Now, the core, it is purely an expression of opinion or contempt. 2, legal status. In most free speech societies, like the United States, generic insults are legally protected speech. Even if they are rude or mean, they only cross into illegal territory if they constitute severe harassment or hate speech. Abayuano, odidi president atem, and na okọ fed akaka say yenku president no, and ode na yere ka ho. So it has crossed that level of mere insult. It has entered into the hate speech. So it has entered into the illegal territory whereby you can be sued. So Obika said it is not a crime to insult president. It is not a crime, but there is a line. When you get to that line, now cross it. Now something where it becomes severe harassment. When you cross that line, when it becomes something like a hate speech, when it is harassment, at that point, not cross the line, you can be put before court. And then I told MPP about you. You need to understand. So kasa. Yes, so I did the attempt to for uncle. A bit to walk court to bet Marco dem. A brantian say, Abayuan say, Munku Mahama Mame says hate speech. Or twice or can be before a year home. So it is not a mere Mahama Jimmy, Mahama Nimyan. So the Abayan or cross the line, no. It is about you went to Marco dem 10 years. More TikTok, MPP in Koran and me, Muntina Mayas way. Man say ya 2028 mbra ex-convicts. Ye be big dem Jimmy. Now, example, you are an idiot and completely incompetent. What's it? Now, Mama Sancho idea, there's something called criticism. Evaluating your work or actions. It is different from insult. Now, criticism is an assessment, judgment, or review of someone's work, behavior, or statement. It can be constructive, meant to help improve, or destructive, harsh and unhelpful. But its focus is on an action or product, not just mindless name calling. So you can criticize. There's positive criticism and then negative criticism. Normally what happens is when it comes to criticism, it's about accessing somebody's performance. Oh, my man criticizes John Mahama. Abai we die. I say nkomo ye kwan. Omo nye kwan no. Ekwan no kro mo ye na enye. You are criticizing the government. Ejuma omo ye no. Enso eni. There's a difference between insult and crossing the line from insult to hate speech to become illegal and criticism. Now, the core, it evaluates performance or ideas. So I don't like your performance. What you have done so far, I think you could have done better. You are criticizing. Oh, Abani performance there. Jomaya was a sector we know. This sector there, and so many you are criticizing. Oh, Abana ya there, you are positively criticizing. Into you are basically assessing the job. Otina TikTok, Otina Facebook. You need to understand these things. You need to understand what insults are, when to cross the line and when not to cross the line, what criticisms are, negative and positive. So there are some that can be charged, some to you can walk away. Now we have legal status, fully protected speech. Fair comment and criticism are vital for art, politics, and business. So with criticism, it is fully protected. That means you are not supposed to cross the line. You can criticize constructively and you can criticize either positive or negative. You have the right to do it. If you want to criticize, nobody's stopping you from criticizing the government. Obian stop people say assess the government performance, assess sector by sector, try and share your opinion, but in the process, when you insult, you should not cross a line because you can enter into a territory that is illegal and enters into hate speech. That one, you can enter court. And we've been out to small girl, no? Now, there's something called defamation. Okay? Don't let some foolish person say, I call law school. Wait, are you basic? When you're able to understand basic things, bono easy man. Remember, articles and Jimmy, they read book you are 30 years. They are stupid people, they don't understand. Now there's defamation, attacking your reputation. Now, defamation happens when someone makes a false statement of facts. False statement of facts. In Tuba show so now we are sure if you don't have the documentations to back your statement, don't say it. Do not. Don't just say I'm saying this. Sometimes you might end up with defamation. Anything like in Japan, they may call court to America. No? The court told him every single statement I made about him, it was backed by fact. So the defamation did not hold. Into a ban, the court said, "Mr. Or stupid, Mr. Or comfort, Mr. Way," and the court told him whatever you said, he said about you. No, he was able to provide the documentation, so you have not been defamed. Anything like in Japan, or yeah, then or by and I went to make any case. No, court can say free court. That is how you need to understand. Ultra social media, you speak anyhow, you end up in jail. Now, when you move forward, it says the defamation happens when someone makes a false statement of facts to a third party that causes real harm to your reputation, livelihood, or character. Now, it is spoken, it is slander. If it is spoken, it is slander. If it is written down, it is libel. And you need to know the differences in these things. So be careful we're going to it is if you are talking on social media in Ghana, on TikTok, on Facebook, you need to know the difference between all these things. You can't just go sit there. Anytime when I sit here, I keep telling you, I have things to protect me. I have facts to protect what I say. When I accuse somebody of being a criminal, I have my documentations to prove that you are a criminal. And wherever you want to go, I'll bring the documents to prove to you that you are a criminal. But you just don't sit on TikTok and say, Obi Kebinti, Yasi Kevin Taylor Kebi. Because Ekufuado is not a lawyer and is an imposter and a criminal, I can show you that Ekufuado never went to any law school. Ekufuado cannot provide his law certificate. So when Jimmy now gets Kevin Kebi into Mebekasea, you go to jail. You need to understand the work you are doing. You need to understand social media space now. Now, when you move forward, it says this, the core. It must be presented as a fact. We are talking about defamation. It must be presented as a fact. Now, when you move forward, it says this. It must be false and it must cause damage, opinions or insult. He is a jerk. Now, that's an example. Cannot be defamation. False factual claims. He stole 5,000 from the company cash register. That can be defamatory. If you are not able to bring a documentations to support that, you have defamed somebody. He can drag you to court. Social media I'm telling you, Kevin can't wait to make a bin jail. Kevin can't wait to make a bin jail. Kevin, the way to jail. You don't know what you are doing. Don't venture into that. Ujimia, you will end up in jail for years. Politician over jail would say, yeah, MP before go out on yes, no. Sanko said, yes, small girl, yeah, no. The American Waja Casa Akran on yet because only Mumrano. Now, when you go to the legal status, civil offenses, you can sue someone for damages if they defame you. Canada Japan sued me for damages. But the documents prove say me defame no, so he don't get a dime from me. No, so pay $19 million is a $9 million. I don't even remember. You need to know these things. It's now so be intimate. Now the last point, example, don't hire Sarah. She was fired from her last job for failing a drug test when Sarah actually left voluntarily and has never failed a drug test. To say example is say, oh, Sarah, mama for the Juma. Now, okay, what do I say? Memfa asimesi Juma our Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It was asimesi no or failed drug test. The issue is ebia na asimesi na wo kana asem no kra onim driving. Into that person can do what? That person can sue you. Because one, maybe I chin impo say why trika a mistake that. Two, every grandpa driver's license. And three, every swa. Sadena de tonosono. He never got that. Into obetime sue or court. That is defamation. Into where the mamenka BBNC or you can be sued. You can go to jail. Now, there's something called threats. 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 Now, threats attacking your safety. Now, it goes back to small girl and assembly. Or say, a threat is a statement of an intention. A threat is a statement of an intention to inflict pain, injury, damages, or other hostile action on someone. Mukoku John Mahama Mame is a threat. You are directing people to harm somebody, to damage somebody, to cause a lot of injury, and basically to make sure you take care of somebody to say wokubi. So akrana sebno kaino, it was a threat. In the original social media, TikTok, eka say unim bibi sa nipa we obi nko eni say obi nko bodu to obetuma dem a threat. Monte social media na say you think you can say anything and get away with it because MPP for say ubedem. Chairman would be in a court. Ubedem. And nobody is going to come save you. A here for mano. You will go to jail. You will die in jail. Now, the core. This is what it means. It creates a reasonable fear for one's physical safety, property, or well-being. 2, legal status, criminal offense. You better go to court. Now you di criminal case. You better go dem 20 years. Into Usha. Say Obama, fancy comedy. They were crossing the line. Say Obama, he crossed the line. Fancy comedy can say, Obin Kocha John Mahama T, he crossed the line. So if you don't know that invisible line and you cross, and you see, that line a very thing. Onya smarter, into the best thing to do is to stay away from commenting on things you don't understand. So what time Mahama metiasie, what time ya metiasie, what time minister be metiasie, but you need to understand there's an invincible line cross. Now, let me show you this, the comparison. You see this? Let me expand it. Quick reference comparison. Your concept, what it targets. Is it a statement of fact or opinion? And is it usually illegal or prosecutorable? Insult, what it targets, feelings and ego. Is it a statement of fact or opinion? Pure opinion. You bet my prosecutee. It's there. Criticism, action, work, opinion or factual analysis. Is it usually prosecutorable? Okay, say no. That is when you don't cross the line. Your criticism, work, action. Then we have defamation. Reputation can be damaged. False fact presented as truth. Yes, it can be. You can go to court, civil lawsuit. You can enter court. You can be sued. You can be sued. Threat, safety of people, their life. You put people's life in danger. Intent to do harm. Yes, it's a criminal offense. They can criminally sue you. So don't underestimate these things. Mema Sadewe and I'll say, oh, yeah, MPP for Oma Kembi, Mekembi, Meme Kanana Wonjinaso, now Wonjinaso. Saba your way. The question here is the baying and obey fee near Yini Krumpa, obey okay beam. Sa abayua way, ye Yini Biema, ye Yina. Obet my okay beam. This kid. Abayua we. Ebio benya belo. Ebio benya up in jail. Ye know obet my nipa beam. She fancy comedy. Say Obama. Sa girl ya nufu sa dying abiwo today. Oh see you obu free prison by all my stable beam. All my life I end it. And akra we ofri oba on your okay beam. And ebi a crapa on to my fear beam. Don't underestimate first idea when you grow go jail. Mema kwa sebin ka say Kevin Taylor Kabi unim dem kuta. Unim lawyers abikuta. Unim Fact amikuta unibi inti stay in your lane. Adia uni wa dance ye men kan wasem. Adia won share ni wa dance ye men kan wasem. Abrayo we wan hwe obeko me 5 years. And from Endeko na brabo ensin ye biem. She is an ex-convict. She's not going to make it. The moment you are put here right now, Adia we say Obama or a jail man, it will follow him till he dies. Fancy comedy or a jail man. Or a bedin a check of his obewu. A bill girl or a jail woman. A bedin a check of his abronja or a jail way or a jail girl. All to survive biem. Ne career and they or their social media. Tina TikTok. Nagaza Kevin Teller when hinty. John Mahama when hinty. Make a can't we ube dem. I'm telling you. This is an advice. Untia, wow problem. We are still live on Loud Silence TV. My name is Kevin Taylor. After this short break, the Jumadi and Ebeshaso Atwaso.
Some of us, Adi Yakuma Atipo, Ma Omai, Obinum Aya Ejuma, Gold Nebano. I didn't try to say that yet. Some of us, young smuggle, young Yasago, no, at to Tomao. Moon says, Anyamanu. Sasikana ebeko shanu samno ebe create inflation ama yanina anamuamu mi swasa muamunim wom. I hope what I'm hearing is false. Sir, police, when they are looking up to some of you policemen, some of you are even partaking in this nonsense. Huh? Mimbo, police no, I don't know from that on your no. Jana, I got a phone no free move. It comes from your end. Oh, it applies to each and every one of us. Adi Yakuma Atipo, Ma Omai, Obinum Aya Ejuma, Gold Nebano. I didn't try to say that yet. Some of us, young smuggle, young Yasago, no, at to Tomao. Moon says, Anyamanu, Sasikana, Ebeko Shanu Samu, Ebe create inflation ama yanina. Anamuamu. Mi swasa muamunim wom. I hope what I'm hearing is false. Sir, police, when they are looking up to some of you policemen, some of you are even partaking in this nonsense. Huh? Mimbo Hobium. Now, I stand up. Mimbo, police no, I don't know from that on your no. Jana, I got a phone no free move. It comes from your end.
People who are very passionate about saving this nation. They won't call for omode omobra toho. JBBR the to say they want to save this nation. And the only pakubi or Ghana, omo your margin is a panel there. You best say omo. MPP for the omo from the past. Juma JJB ye. They're in and out. They're trying to save this nation. Every single thing. Oh yeah. He's not Jesus. He had his flaws. But you could see a man who wanted to help, who wanted to save his people. Even from military or sabete a party to make sure idea what it seemed. He did everything. But you see, JJ, the biggest problem was that he was a Voltarian. JJ Rawlings, the biggest problem you now face here, with all the things that he did, it was because no ya wuneni. Me say JJ Rawlings nanko ya santini ba ankende your body dinga anka him for be sorry say yeti Rawlings is why ya sorry. The problem JJ had, all the things that he did, as some people refused to recognize, was because na JJ dien or ya wuneni. Because yenya santifo almost so ye cool. Yensi antuma gu afi abontrinti ye de sie. And I try Ghana history no edubu ahen. Akonkonsan for no history no. They started from JJ Rawlings because they wanted to paint the guy say JJ cry nya Ghana ni because I want to for Ghana for, and they started brainwashing young people. It's upon the JJ amount for deep down, and him said JJ really worked. Kwame Nkrumah. Then Kwame Nkrumah nyama Ghana for, and then I put to be in a stage. I have put it in chain or catch a yene say Kwame Nkrumah. I didn't Kwame Nkrumah problem you know say. Na nipa kobi person yet no be an ninja ho. Na Kwame Nkrumah science money. Into some people felt to say they had a problem with Kwame Nkrumah, where he is coming from. He is not one of us. He will not do what we want, and Kwame Nkrumah is an enemy. So that is where our problem is from. Some group of people at the Nipebi to town Kurum. There were some people who really liked me from the beginning. But from the day I became their hatred towards me just sparked. And that is how we live in Ghana. And there are some group of people, somebody just don't like me, doesn't like me, all because me have currency. Me the sell and cash. Me have caste for Ghana. Somebody just hates me because I know. Somebody just doesn't like what I do because me am fantini ba. Ejuma mi ye sankame mami asantini and papa ya santini and am ye anka obie no beka se tia me. All the people who wish me dead, they would have died for me. And that is how some of us are. Ye nipa kuobi omo Ghana no. That is how they live. Ejuma be na kofo be ye enkwasiade akofo de tumi be ye no. And ye mbese be ka kofo asem adan o ya santini ba. Kenapo Jimmy obe Jimmy 2024. He cannot even speak in public. Otumi pom bien anon kasa nyansem. And so now you pay me Ghana da home per se. Na pusha ye kon. Adentia koto de ne bodwe. Kwasi asem. And this is where we are. It's upon all the things that has happened. Now take your time and go all the way from the back till today. I am per se yebeko sa nyomanim because yekuma some people look so bad in Ghana politics. Some people question ba kwa ebusa MPP for say sebio se twa MPP fru ma santimemu na ye papa ko for ye nsanka na momfa mo nsankyira de ba kwa aye monumental socially, politically, economically ko for ye ya asesa Ghana ye tumi ka say we die afewo ka jem say de eye ko for eye de keje confonochi emergency moa confonochi emergency. Ya papa kofo ya santiri ba di nchiri di nsu edi moko di nchine. Every weekend o kumasi ekwa yie. You cannot point to one thing. 10 in embassy host kejeti amamo. Na santimai mwakuma eni mumoja ya di anya kejetia. And that is what we talk about. I know we say, hey, it is what you people do and say. Some of you people. Atamos was disrespected because Atamos no infantini. He is a professor. 99.99% of MPP4, you can never get a professor to lead your party. Bawumia is a crook economist. Because Atamils Oyem Fantini, he isn't considered as Chini. We made fun of Atamils. At a point in our history, people were praying and jubilating. Say Atamils Wu. He was called monkey. So many things were said about Atamils. This is an innocent man who basically wanted to serve his people. What do you say, Tiana? Yabaya Nibedu Mahama, Asamna say 10 year boy. The hatred for John Mahama is because of where he's coming from. It's not because they think that he's not competent. They know John Mahama John Mahama has delivered a lot. John Mahama is capable. He's a visionary. He's humble. He understands governance. But Oyeteni. So from day one, these people never gave John Mahama a dog chance. They called him names. They sent people after him. They decided to brand John Mahama negatively. A day in Nipanka, John Mahama to go 2-4 party or 2-4 said to do the birthday. Na John Mahama ko na bought that the lumba nyom. Na ni pebia tinasiaka said John Mahama say Ethiopia. Na nkwasiafo agedi. Ye tumi kroma na John Mahama kasa na obi akogina baby say John Mahama say ye de God ye kumase kwanya. So basically it is a deliberate move. To destroy people, all because they are not like us, they don't speak like us, they don't sound like us, yet they are him fear. So anybody who is out of that circle is not a human being. We need to go after the person, and that is the modus operandi of this foolish MPP. See how they are struggling with Bawumia, because deep down their heart, Bawumia is 10 years boy. They are struggling to accept Bawumia. You know what? Because the party's bile, a tribalism, and that is the party. You see where they are struggling with Bawumia? The day Bawumia party is split here, it is never going to come back again. Because the NPP is made up of tribalistic, egoistic, foolish people. They believe, say, so that is why the party has split into 20 parts. Because the natural love that they have for Kufuor Santini, they can give it to Bawumia. And they want to make sure this creeps into the country. Now, the problem they're having right now is that the way they used to get it easy, the way they used to frame people, the way, that is why people like us are their target. We are not going to allow anybody to do that in Ghana again. And that is what is happening today. You see the hatred towards John Mahama. Since John Mahama came to power, the John Mahama NDC for 20 years ago doing it. And there was one question. One monumental project Asantuma did you cannot say it. The can say me criticize Kufuor. I'm asking you fools. More people from Kufuor on Nebanchi. And this thing has crept into our politics. See the way they insulted Okudjata Blakwa. See the way they picked on some people, Sam George Mo, how they picked on some people because they look at their tribe, they look at where they're coming from. Let's go after them. That is the MPP. And I can mention a lot of these things. They pick people, they look at them, and there's one study Asante for more MPP. The MPP don't go after them raw because you know what? Asante regional minister, the biggest pain in the heart of the MPP is because of Asantini. But you see, ya pimko or ya this year intana ya ding and anything I just ayo mo dam na bibi keka seso no bodam no sam akọ hene no. The biggest thing John Mahama has done for Asantuma is to pick one of their own to lead them, and this guy is delivering because when Munyansa ya Santina and adwum bie into Asantefo no Munyansa no, they are supporting him. All that they are doing omuntumi nyanya said omo kako ane papa Asantini mama Asantin to omuntumi ndina tem. You make say and they were say but they cannot, the kind of words they would have used Sanka Sandipo Ashanti regional minister no Ofriko or Buruni or Ukraine, these people would have finished this guy. But John Mahama gave you people, some of you, your own medicine. You cannot swallow it now. Now, in
2024, Abaya Kotriano. Sanka, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and a winning ya. And some messages were Ghana to see you know. And Kasena Ebeye news. Can look a bit different. Etiente Kaseboye Didi Suina, Yanfa Emma Bawumia Amamu. I was young from Amunina Crab by the bar, Yan Kaseboye Suna, and some bedi Makutini be any. Ghana man penny, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia Trech the Moody NTR. IMF on Jumedia Wano and a Kanya Bani Diano. It was one of Sunny Etwaswo, na Isikasem Ejan Naswo. Sanso and Ghana man penny Abedeche, Dr. Matopoku Prempe. I are two contractors are one more quite in answer, one move through one with say. I am of Jumedia is 1 million to us for money to Minesika and far in Chomka. Bidding at the Asunaba Kojonuma Fuduku. After you better name some near for Munchum from a small. Ghana man penny, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and that day needs a drop for Kwakusia. Now, sir, we share Munoaquaquia, Media, man penny, and central for a Tashiano Brano. We Anna a yebredi can crabro man penny, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia Bedia Diano. Now, a brown in central for Cassan or the two done what you say. Yasha Kwana who to my Ghana, Yesika Samaquaco Jana. Kania Bani Econo. One international monetary fund for Ecoya Kasibumu, as one bet Mama account economy net mejan and also Nama Yesika Sam Sweaty Major Pabing. Na Bosumia Yomi April May na one or two material urban yet. Na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and IMF from Penny for Kwakusia. And what did I order to that I say? Well, about to the answer one more say a year per one common year after Bakoni France and home. Was it Sabrino? Yesika Samu and Nasu ye. And Ghana city no sono a year 35 Ghana cedis to $1. Was it winning Nana Aquaquia IMF Dumedia? Or more a buy netting Yabua. Was a Sanka IMF Dumedia in one more? And a common was the Kabi Ade Soya Sia. Ebia Kia city no crano. And Kakako do baby a bear 50 cedis to $1. Ghana man penny Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Chiremua. Who been yas IMF do me no besa to us was so a man you woman Yenisika and no quanso a fast way a didia tronosono and yadia Ghana for the atria at war. And who been here say yeah sure maya air quanim yasia man saying them Ghana air quanim was a sunny a city no agina 35 cities to $1 no was say a muddy bucket papa was a cania bani tramukono now ye city no air to sign a baba do be about 14 Ghana cities now so a bany by yana economy one day go a community no city now could do 35 was this a Kenyan say per hour no buy no day go a cremua and kebi crana can bear 50 cities or didn't cast any banner we no what to at the same you make who doing nada one more major to a bedroom sir will be a man whom my dear sir at 20 dear cacro bet or bedroom one shall saw the barber bread a buy now buy so at the dijuma and no I know the to say who be here say I am a phone to my dino one best sign at your quenim afiba conefa and 2027 echo 2028 no now fe one do my dear in your abba the year was see a bama bano one hano I want sika what did you mad what did you do my four and it what they are who doing nadanon a bama abana and your bread I'm an et me.
Right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses, you right to jail. You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail. Right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses, you right to jail. You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail. Right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses, you right to jail. You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
Because of jail, you go to jail. So you need to understand. Asma Mekano, don't get me wrong. We all know. Obi apprentice be to be a master with jumem. The mere fact that apprentice no ya santinia or no ya apprentice no who so the mere master no. Ah, oh be that. Me say Ghana ni etno me menya akora asa o. Sometimes na mo kora mo hwa me aso Kevin small boy hey. You ready? Me say obi to be ni obi with jumem master to me ji akora. Master nkrani. Master Bununi, Master Kouni, Master Auneni, Otimija Korabesia carpentry, Branabesia air fitting, Branabesia air masonry. Akorano ya santini no dredge memoir, no was a master near Aunenia, and now Master near Crania, or no automatic and address on Nyansa Master. There are so many stupid people we sat in classrooms with. The moment they enter MPP, Omu so many Nyansa Chan Kwasia for party na mutina the Papa Benum. And you people all know more school groups. Obi to me to say kwasi ampanyi we ana no o to people go run the the moment your group ma you discuss Ghana politics or so your people you know every reasonable thing that you say Nigerians or your people into the answer in come what is some and it's there we all see it all the time and that is the NPP for you into my group on to say 9 it's who test conform now Jimmy you can't even correct them. Who test comfort now? I say 9. You can correct them because Jimmy cry yeah okay yeah test comfort. Who too many MPP need to class? I'm going to class are boy for and so round people ma of the chest of the millions of the oh bottom MPP now joining in the and these people they are deliberate about things. Also and they almost started share videos be on pages say I Sami Jemfi led a group demonstration normal to kuma mama okay what was an answer share sa video no you see the MPP but in 2015 these were the people occupy a Flagstaff house and you men are no motto That is MPP 2015. Occupy Flagstaff House. On send a mark of a video about 2024. Sami Jemfi lead. Oh my Jimmy. You see, the NPP might say more. You see, and right now their strategy is when they start to speak on politics of insult, almost 33 that they could for the time. Oh, and they could for the or the West president they didn't attempt. I know they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk about Tamils. They don't want to talk about JJ Rawlings. They don't want to go back. It's almost static conversation. And politics of insult. A coup for the president. Hey, before a coup for the buyer, now Tamils, now Mahama, and now JJ Rawlings. Monko back na monko check him record. Some people say about boning in our hatch for politics of insult started from you fools. A coup for the about politics on about Umia. And Fred Kufuor in the past, Kufuor said incompetent here, insult. He took every courtesy, any protocols, JJ Rawlings, and then Kwasiafo Baumia claimed to fame, incompetent. On any yere yantre nino. Kwasiafo. I am going to say, you refine your man tem. International TV so you see your problem you say politics of insult no Ekufuado time and Ekufuado time start you start JJ time. You better the books ni na be kiremo. Your receipt ni na wa ha. Atamo se so na na de dan Ekufuado friend no Professor Do Little onu Ekufuado wa say bosom na ase no no odidi nkofo atam in opposition kwasiafo. You people think we have forgotten things? Adebia mo de bia your receipt wo. Bibia mo be kan bia be ma mo receipt. Every single thing you people talk about, we will provide receipts for you people. But you see a Jimmy Anna, Mudi Koto de Neboje, Kwasiafo, Mudi, Nkofo and Nkofo retaliate. Hey, where the Nkasasa, where do you did me see a bit Matambo Meira, Mobaira? Me say mo, Master Samusubaya, ye bedi Matama, Mubehi, Munse, Mubehi, Namaira. You fade and disappear. Ye bedi matema mobe fedi na mayira kwasiafo monkwa na munim kasa monkwa na munim atanie monkwa na mo de yesem kwasia ya moya na mo se ahonani kwasia onfa ne normal mo se tani kwasia onfa ne normal mo se krobofo kwasiafo onfa ne normal mo se sewifo kwasia kowfo ene bonofo omo de onfa ne saa na mo de yesem kwasia na akamo nana mo bodam. Nana B eko bo Sami Jemfi e wo studio Nana B e bo Sami Jemfi na mo magimi ana na mo she dodo
oh come eya na ebia ya bin.
Besides get me that video Nana B oko studio oko bo Sami Jemfi Nana B owie e na osaka kire eye Sami Nana B ewura studio time and more power Nana B unim Nana B am de Nana B enim be kire Nana B menyini chen no urade yankopon Nana B wacha sibia de foyer de ultimate cross 51 Nana B anahwe de foyer okuto a ohun ne be ma Nana B ogina bathroom a na oyese ya ohun be bia ne hwewado Nana B kwasi ampanyiwe ogina bathroom na insuo bugunu so opegya ne tikofom a ohun ne hwa kwasi ampanyiwe o studio akobo Sami Jemfi kama no more power Nana B
waka waka zamina mina sangalewa anawam zamina mina zamina mina waka waka zamina mina sangalewa anawam zamina mina zamina waka waka zamina mina sangalewa anawam
Nana B ebo Sami Jemfi wo studio time no mo to me no Nana B kwase Nana B onie owia Ghana sika no da kwhwe oba akwa Jimmy Fowe. Where is the picture? Ebi onim Nana B owia sika no da kwhwe oba kwase we me see ogina ho a ohun ne kwate Jimmy hwe ozeka video utimu adin papa Nana B kwase ampanyi we me wa picture bi ambasam de kirem. Where is that picture? Nana B Jimmy Fowe owie sika no da kwhwe oba owie sika no da kwhwe oba Nana B. I don't know why I can't find this picture. One oba kwasi ampanyi oni Nana B sa kwotena TV so those times are Ekufuado ekoto eko rent jet no ɛna asepa ɛkɔ kan sɛ Nana Akufo-Addo jet no Nana B mu ɛkɔ tena TV so sɛ yɛnkye asepa na Ghana mbra no kyerɛ sɛ kasa bi wa ɔka ɛyɛ de speeches bi wɔ ha ɛwɔ sɛ yɛkyew or insist sɛ yɛnkye asepa nkotum. This is Nana B kwasia ogyina okro hu ne kwate Jimini we
hye dodo. Oh, Kwame, ɛyɛ na ebi a ya ben.
Na mamemrai yewura Mensa Thompson asepa na okoka asem bia ma ye sojafo kura baba be yi ano na yi ano no minim se nka kwa akoto na wo mo so kura ka se posifo so kura hwehwem na ye so do anu atum se papa no ebe ya nka posifo enko kye no na nka ye hwehwe ni nsem asem na te sen
Kwame no kwe. On say nkomo ya na bribia ye di a radio so kase. Aya na o chief ni. Na kwa de abefo nti ade ba kwa asabe ka ho pa no ye social media. Social media and the bra Kwame obi a bi ni account fa. We kwa de say se wo no wa frame wa ma Isaac aframe say Isaac mfam na mi twetwe nkomo. Enti me no kase nya kwa ne meka bia no utimi control ne meka na social media ne de raja uko bi account ana ya na ne uko bia no utimi cho Kwame no kwe e wo freedom of speech e wo se bibia no be kan no freedom of speech no ende ne ho saa na wo mra etuatua ho etinya nsem na betimi aka na saa kra na wafa especially enema bia ya na fa omamu ni nyina banbon omamu ni nyina banbon Kwame eya na Abranche Thompson utia asama odi kan de tuja ebeye bubuja no kwasem ne se ekwa na ba na me hu se we de akwakwa efenka na once na fa de no kwa kuja obabi uyi wani ne ko ke hu ya ba wo hwe bebi ade no kodu ye se omampeni emma eni omampeni emma no namfofo eni omampeni nuanom emma atna eye presidential jet ni akwakoye party wom omoye party no mtwa two plane pa no mudi ko English abotri omko London omko nso mudi ko siye no eno sai party wo London koye shopping to mu wie na se plane si ho a twen hom omo ye omo shopping expensive shopping wie ye e sai ye omo party wie ye no eno omo ta na plane yi mu ene no so no e sai too far de ba Ghana na wo hwe nkoma no dipa ho ensenia osi kasana e boda on national security oka se mi hwe ewe se na make na be visit bianca once na afa adini na ko sisi be ne de wa se to be wi wani na nka wo mo se we de akwa efenka na once na fa de no kwa ko jaw be bi wi wani ne ko ke hu ya ba wo hwe be bi ade no kodu ye se omampeni emma eni omampeni emma no namfofo eni omampeni nuanom emma atna eye presidential jet ni akwakoye party wom omoye party no mtwa two plane pa no mudi ko English abotri omko London omko nso mudi ko siye no eno sai party wo London koye shopping to mu wie na se plane si ho a twen hom omo ye omo shopping expensive shopping wie ye esai ye omo parties wie ye no eno omo ta na plane yi mu ene no so no esai too far de ba Ghana na wo hwe nkoma no dipa ho ensenia osi kasana e boda on national security oka se mi hwe ewe se na make na be visit bianca once na afa adini na ko sisi be ne de wa se to be wi wani na nka wo nkomo ni bu ha pa kwam we ye nya ne sa we e boda on national security ena am plena ye ka presidential jet anya say be e nipa ba ku menu bi
she dodo
oh
wo de omo ye ta omo wo de omo ye ta omo power no that is Nana B yenko chia sepa ade asepa say Ekufu Addo mba na for private jet omo no na for akọ UK akọ Chile Nana B ya na nim ele se muchi ase kwasia wo de ni hye mu ande a ade be chi no wu manyini chan no he na nim aye na nim black se muchi ase. This is Nana B o wie sika ajantra for ma bi se na do ko form we Nana B emba we no didi omachi o wie sika na ko sa ma we foolish girl we no akoto diamond no kwasia mpanyi we o Kumasi ni boy okwa Kumasi a government in dine egu no no akoto nto kwasia mpanyi foolish boy o. I'm older than this boy, dirty boy. Oh, when they were in power or see obi akoka se Ekufu Addo ma for private a president jet into yanko chini fan in shem kwasiato. These people, they forget easily. These are riffraff, dirty people. And ma say, pentima minto wemo, eno odisika koma omo. Na kwasia wenye sika to edam oba. Na kwasiato MPP for me jiminti. Your Bible ojina o. Uyi ni weapons asesha no ho a Terminator 3 ohuru so ochina no mask no face no makeup day. Ochina bidi so baba ohuru benim wo a wo yo ba o internet so a wo bo odin no. Bra na ba ohuru wenim kwasiafo. Wei pentima minto wei ahomachi na otutu de hyehyɛ no ogina wa I say bonframa uni bonframa ade na de hye ai prime na de communica na say no anopo bu no aso bonframa wei kwasiato. These are the kind of girls obank na obehu ye na ordinary ko school na wato diamond na maame kwasiato wei jimini wei. And these are the people yamfa to mean samamo nenim kala say funum. But time no more power there. So because Ekufu Addo, there's freedom of speech, you know. They knew say there was something that you can apply the law to make sure Obin Kabibi. And that there, kwasi ampenyo ojina bathroom a ohun bema no. Nana B ojina shower se ohun bema. E kire oba Jimmy phone na akwa we beda. Na akwa we anadwo no ohumigu so a. Such a dirty person. And these are people, they have no principle. How many principle we are? Very filthy, dirty people. In Krasifo Kru, Omufri Kura in Sonim, and Wabankrai, Omu Babi Omopeno. Yet to do to about West Pepasa, or Jawas a Kodu. What's your summer Motigana no Moody? Wouldn't have been Kaupia and Opa, Nanko renti facial aspect, Obia or a cosmetics, Nanko do it. Nanka, 10 minutes bia, Yabepa with him, Yadipenta phone, a Botorua. Kwasia for Udio Matana Omoya. They don't respect. Sa Terminator we akofai later na kwasi ampanyi bi edin wo de cantonment abuofunu kwasi ne afri Kumasi abankran we hu Terminator de chire wo so tuwe we fu be edi uhu be ma wo fie kwasi abakrom obabo bra no o do kwasi anenam o de nanam nkran na wasoso na wososo wo hu be na ye wo oba se na obetumi oba da wo Nana B awugina hoi obema oba be na betumi epira no wo Nana B be ma da onantem eba be na betumi sunie hye wo yam sunie hye wo yam aboa aboofunu sunie hye wo yam jantra fo na di omuchi odi so betumi satisfy we mu no time omu si so we mu dansan we mu na wo di akire kurasini abankran we hu oba akoto dama onene maame na ejimifo ye hu musu nipa da and the girl we wakonom eye Ozempic eno nanam nkran okwara ne to so abuofunu am say o Kevin Taylor harass meme harass me say na sa girl ne current picture me kire wa obebu ahwe wakonom Ozempic ne to dade e hye de to no de nam nkran ne to so Nana B ejimi otena Kumasi ama wofudua ne dua de edi nkan pia so no ba nkran otena Kumasi ama ne dua pie ye obedu nkran no hu oba bi ogin say nipa aboa na nkwasiafo de nam Ghana ne hu fifire wo obema oba be ne betime pra no nkran wo obema da wo nantem oba be ne betime pra no a ugum maso onum ken nkwasifo ma mo bedu nkran a mo gin say betime pra nkran ni ba botoda na so wo ko pra no krasini and girlie one Ozempic ena ne bat crack no e po betua ho no nam nkran so wa slim abofunu afede ye be hwedi se na obehwe no oni me be kire mo boji se me akwara ho me mo de munnim mintra Saba you away and the one no Olympics. Olympic was a dear and one only. Kwasia ukura sini be ma ufira santimemu. Wo be ba na wo be bra won ase won kran no. Why we fusa dansen ma be won kran wo be ma be oba be betumi pra no won kran. Wo be ma no oba be na wo na bi wo be ma betumi pra no won kran. Wo be ma se kodu abuofuru hwe ga na onie. Own lines. I say, oh, Kevin Taylor is harassing people. What bodam? Moya sana ya montete, mufo biantete. Oh, no lines. A bufru. Nanabi. No nanabi. Ufre krasi upon now, oban crying, over brown wasano, odu Jimmy, over to me probably one crying. Way over to me prano. Sao ba over to me prano. No, I got to damn and mamma, or I got to damn omo. Very dirty people. Krasi for a room. Yen jamu. Me betray mo current picture. Nana be before we and a Ghana yatina Ghana. Na sa boys we dirty boys. Me so obo sami jemfi ewo asempa and then nana be general culture said ye. Oh ya MPP young man. Kona kokunto koma MPP. Na unim sika or the to dama girl we. Or to dama girl na ukasia. Why will see a chiko tete TikTok say ye kwama MPP. Girl we or MPP aduma. When the unu MPP campaign I say. When the who girl we MPP campaign I say. My say moi. Moya say moa omo nkurasefo mo bedun kan na mo determinators echi moya say moa ye tumufo amonte moja mo ma na gukuma se na mabehu abijanfo ma won kran enti enya mo ene ugina wona uhwe wofu a wontumi hu be ma no ene ugina shawase a uhu be ma oba be na betumi pra no oba be na kobo ndogi wofu sunie na shem wofu sekura aboa. And we entertain these foolish people. We entertain these people every single day. Near Jai Boys way, no money nam Ghana, no more Jimmy, na MPP in Korane Jimmy, almost so Jimmy, how can we entertain such things? Maybe some more young people na yachichemono. Mo amode TikTok say ye juma na ba obi my appointment say na be auto daima we no. Mo get we campaign stage da. Mo say get we original stage ye campaign. MPP atare wo so shebi da. Mo ye moa. Team, get me another picture. Ya beka ya mama yan kan asem. Madam mu impenifo akromfo ya kakofo asana bubuofu. Who the hell is Kufuor? Kufuor used to be a former president. We have every right to criticize J.A. Kufuor. Oye Yesu. Kwame Nkrumah criticize Kufuor. Kufuor adepapa be no de ba fie. Enye bini dan obesi ye. He pekene nsɛmhunu no obedi wɔ Ghana. At least the document says say or the Ghana Sika, Edman, the girlfriend by advisor to the finance minister. You people should contest that. Because therefore you can't contest the fact. You are using tribal lines. Mo defend mo Kufuor no. Time na o deleting your mano. So now you so oyemi eko. Time na o deleting your mano. No you so ma mention mo get on the picture. Na bi kwasi ampenyi. Mo yenye nyam ho time. Ha me dirty bi ameye mo no. Erade jagobo. Ma mention another picture. Nkwasiafo me kire mo next time uni pambebu no. E jantra for ma omunya dwuma bia MPP for nkurase for bankran ebe hu nkran 8 years almost say musika nyina na kwasi about it me na mekasa ma MPP or TikTok ye de wo ya aboa gawe mamusa wo sa gawe onie na danfo na onie na na bi sika the green arrow no hwe no one no Olympic and the why to say banchidua na wo oba no nam na wafu aye say uhu kote ono akono Olympic aye slima or perses park aboa oba ono na ye de green appointed so no oba ono na ono wonam na ono anu Olympic na ono aye fia na wafu se dan di nechi no oju so pew or perses park ntino ono Olympic no because of bema ne ho sisi ne ho so a ogina shower no ode de say ohuni bema ohu bema kwase to mufri kumase bedun kan a na mugu maso se mpena enwan mo beto dan mamba o beto dan mamba won kran ejimifo power bedi mu nsan kwase ade amde ye no mo ntuma ko bi adwuma ekobi adwuma kumase mo nyina trom no betena kan na mato estate trom no betena kan na mato dan mamba oba na ende wa afia no or no Olympic or bema was 6 pack to send me 6 pack aboa o bema even bedu Ye yensa se kura baba bedru he. Jimmy for na won ndam. Sika kakra wonya obekɔ fia kɔ ya de pa no. We Jimmy wo ho. Hende wenim na ahyeshi. Wenim na ahyeshi no enche na wo kan wo bonsa we yi ase na wankasa wo bonsa. Wenim na ahyeshi no cancer no. Nana bi wenim na yese no ma me kyerɛw. Live cancer. Ogin sa agro na amanfo di. Wenim na ende ahyeshi no cancer na ayew. De na mo de sre atamels say atamels nsema etuntum atamels aye say atamels say sa cancer na sebio na atamels say fight no ebi na eye wo no wo be hye te se me na ase cancer na ya atamels na mo de tikuma ase di na tem no na mo de sre ne se obewu no na mo de sre ebi na eye wo no wo de yetia ma ho wan yi ape wo de besi cancer na edware wo no wo so wo discaliber vitiligo na eye wo no and wo ye Uncle Ruckus ewo boondocks mu vitiligo na eye wo no. Later, I got just Michael Jackson. Kwasia, mon koran intina make section musadi we. Mudi the MPP said them about them. You have no idea what they are using you for. And ye chibugum some more. Kwasia for way. Eden and Namgana say, ya mon kumaye. Mudi to me more pe. No mas aswa to me never turn down my mouth on crying. But for over to my doggy. Then I be over to my doggy. Oh, says back out of doggy. What is a doggy a body keke? A boof. O says pack out of doggy way. One and a B. O says pack out of doggy way. Today I saw a video of him not just the food Diana. O says pack at the doggy. Or bad no Mozambique. O say, Meda Hoton, Quasia. Well, when you say Uncle Ruckus, the Boondogs, well, when you say Uncle Ruckus, and the one of Vitiligo, me see them, my 1 year penka, I'm obey. Obe danisa again to ho tum we Jimmy mukasa by heart to me free munsa yenjamu mo de mo behu team are we still on course my main first story bin kire eye amanfo and chairman want to me ekọ eye court mo ade bia me be ye mo krum ha no chairman want to me call court na Mama Sanfa Bincham, hey, after Kennedy mo. Omon kan crew. Hwe 1996. Mama show video bi. Make for stories no ho. Me ye ne kakran crack mo. Menya time one day me see Ghana 50 di aka no. 1996 mo hwesi bia after Kennedy introduce Okufo. We Akromfo party we.
About have turned into nightmare. Now the dream of a nation with good paved roads have turned into the nightmare of a nation with potholes.
Remember, this was fundraising for a raising fund so be the president. Wemu ata Kennedy mo. Omo no ma say kuro no. Omo na in America. Omo enjoy omo retirement money. Na omo ba keka kwa sema cha no ma soroko. Ata Kennedy na ona ko beso ba chire Ghana kwa antena Ghana. Ata Kennedy time odi Kufuor buy no anka if there was anything good in Ghana Kufuor ye anka antena Ghana nye one practice the medicine no. Ata Kennedy na onenam ho no. Oba okasa koma nim full stop nim bibia nim okasa che okasa onyina no ata Kennedy no mumusa ne say ne Kufuor na omde ne bae no se nka Kufuor be ye Ghana yi anko obetena bro chi be di pa wabe ye adwuma asa ponko ende oni ani jebia na oti bonkum mumusa ne say Kufuor ye Ghana yi anka sanka o se de osua no kokoye no Ghana na ode boa Ghana san Kufuor we ni nam Ghana tete abroche keka nkwase asem first no omo choro nyoma. Oh, what Ata Kennedy? What Ata Kennedy? What Ata Kennedy? Omunya be go abrochire. I don't know man Kufuor antena Ghana anchechere man no. Oh, we don't do politics. And so time we do. Na ye pese yi kwase abedi Ghana enim na ma ba ye enim nyansa. You know, we have to look at this. We have to study this. This is a person who can do this. Omu be yi kwase afo ma no masa kwatena abrochire no mu ye adwuma. No mu de hwe mo ire no mu ma. Ye jiminti. We are not going to allow any dead goat to decide for us in Ghana who becomes president. Yes. Because that is what they've been doing for years. What they're doing, and they say, anytime you're on Bebano, no be kwasiampenya ma, no masabati na brochire. Na yani ye jiminti, oh, where do you brochire? Hey, where do you doctor? Into mumya den, mumya fa eye ejuma ne mano. That is what they do. Into ye ejuma ne mana, no ma kotina brochire. Na fe omo twiye di, ata Kennedy mo, omo nom de Kufuor bae, omo nom de Kufuor bae, and so man tina regime nim. They do that, they give us mad people and they come and stay in America. Because I have said no, oye juma 2 weeks be na car. I have said no, o tuane dan car. I have said the mortgage bibia is so. Aha, the car bibia obi ambuno. Obi no what the Jimmy voice so or say you people take care of the idiots. Oh man, no better article bako. As some MPP ma, also you know this one is not doing well. This is not the MPP we used to know. No, I can quite the same thing on the Baumia. They are going to bring you Baumia. You and I, we know Baumia is not intelligent enough to lead a nation. But after Kennedy Mo, they will go back and come and tell us, say, Omono Matana Bruchre, Omono Nyansa, Inti de Omoka, Obia Nyansa and Jobia. Mamo Samon Kwasi Adena, Mosoria, oh, I am Arthur Kennedy, oh, I live in America, I am a doctor, and today. So when you are Briso Bejma Kogana Kobwa Ghana. I want the video natural. Team, boost the sound for me. So when you are break, so person Ghana, Munja Bruchena Motitino. Na mu nyina mo ko Ghana nkwasiafo mo ye campaign me Kufuado eba power mo wie na Trump mo beta in America emu agimifo na ajantrafo ade na mo ne Kufuado antena Ghana ne atie di nkomo mo se yete abroche de keka nkwasiasem ende mo tetam ho odem na we dem srem o mo fa mo studio nkire because tada de nyina mo se yete infa studio ye ni studio ye ne nkaje se mo be pan mo camera na kire se mo be bie multi-million-dollar studio nkwasiafo we dem srem o media mini studio ai me pacho mo amuye media di bi no mo fa mo studio ni nkire ye kwasiafo ejimifo mo di mo kru bedroom na mo ye shows mo let mo yire no girlfriends me say ye de ni studio ye ni hanet ye ni kapre ye hia ye mo na mo studio nti asra mo agro de ntokwa ne mo fa mo studio ni nkire ye kwasiafo so mo say mu ya omo ana mo te Ghana e ka se omo ba America be bie studio akese omo ba wa dan ntafre ye control how we control and we know how the system works. Na me say me studio me sra mo ho kire me metimi basement and me yire na hwe me mo amaba na mo bie multi-million-dollar studio sra mo fa mo studio ni kire ye hwe mo ye pese ye hwe mo studio ni sra mo Kevin Taylor de me studio me yire basement o ai me ni kapre e say me yire anko amenko intimidate me sra mo amosim wo studio no dada ni nyina mo fa mo studio ni nkire mo nsore na mo fa camera ni nkire so ye studio ni aha na system no wo aha na we wo na ye hu se yi mo de kwasiafo mo titi nwuram na me jinse mo studio be kire ye Kevin Taylor de obi anim se me de mini studio obi anim ewiase nyina akorakora nim na mo de na mo fa nkire ye kwasiafo ma mo fa mo studio ni nkire ye mo betu mpanifo okurum ha ende mo camera hyehyɛ mo kwase ewifo ajantrafo mo me ko theater Kennedy Kufo had a fundraiser in 1996. This is Arthur Kennedy, Azanfo.
Have turned into nightmares. Now the dream of a nation with good paved roads have turned into the nightmare of a nation with potholes. The dream of a nation with hospitals have turned into the nightmare of a nation with houses of death. The dream of a nation with excellent schools have turned into the nightmare of a nation with buildings that warehouses our children and sends them out, not ready to face the world. This is terrible. And since the beginning of this struggle about a decade and a half ago, a lot of people have gone to the front lines. A few of them have perished and a few of them have paid a lot of price. So always remember the struggle that has gotten us where we are today has been costly. It has cost people their education, it has cost people their lives, it has cost people their happiness, it has separated families, it has sent people into unhappy exiles. So we are here to carry forward a very solemn tradition. Please take note of that. So we have finally arrived at a point in the struggle where maybe when we see the tunnel, we can see a little light. So the campaign this year is about change. Change from corruption to honesty. Change from tribalism to unity. Change from a nation filled with potholes to a nation of good roads. Change from a nation with good hospitals so that our relatives will not die at home because they cannot afford medicine. Change from a nation with schools that can compare with those all over the world, like it used to be in the good old days. And I do not know whether it is events that call forth a man or it is a man for the times who calls forth events. Our principal speaker tonight has been preparing for this moment virtually all his life. I mean, for example, he was the city manager of Kumasi at the very tender age of 27. Can't say much about that. I just met our guest speaker this morning at the airport after talking to him for a while. And he was out of the plane all alone and he wanted to carry his luggage. Talk about humility. This is a man who would make Ghana proud. He was educated at Prempeh College, Oxford University, and Lincoln's Inn. Mr. Kufuor is a father, a husband, an average sportsman, and a man of the people. He's a man who, by virtue of his education, could have worked in exclusive classes and ivory towers, but relates very much to a lot of ordinary people. He has actually dedicated most of his life to public service rather than private gain. He has been a legislator on 2 occasions, has been in at least 2 administrations, and apart from that, has held a lot of other positions. So without further ado, I invite you to rev it up, rev it up, rev it up, and join me in welcoming to the podium a lawyer, public servant, a president Ghanaian, and the next president of the lawyer.
So, omdi we nyina kwotete o wo si bia profile bi o de to ho ma omo kwasi asam nko a country from potholes to good roads ko fo ba wanya kwan ba akumpo bush na ba kwan ba akuma a country from no hospital to hospitals oba we see one hospital a bidi die no be see a country without tribalism. Not they were doing tribalism. Oh, Yehu Kufuor airport, he wanted to carry his own luggage. They say Kufuor the playbook. He went to Prempeh College, Jekurase Prempeh. Oh, J.A. Kufuor, he went to Oxford and Lincoln. That is what they've done from the 90s. They prepare dumbheads. They prepare their chipmunks and they will give it to us. This is what they've been doing for years. Yes, I do. How they sold him in 1996. Upon Nyomo Kani Nyina Kufuor to see one hospital in Ghana. He could not. In some Kani Nyina Kufuor to me AC Ekwami and Sawa Ghana. He could not. Kufuor to me see one university. He could not. Kufuor free power, not tribalism, was holding our neck. Kufuor at the end of the day, see the damage it did. State agencies, state properties, Ghana Airways, Ghana Telecom, Kufuor drill ship, he sold everything. That is what Atta Kennedy them they do. Obesaba, no abde ba omiamamo, no aje cash, no akwakotena baby, na afi muna muho chiremo. That's what they do. That is what they do. That's how they sold Kufuor to us in 1996. Mo amoya people for kra mo video we da. Mo me say, ade bia me de be ye mo no. Mo party no, Ghana for be pamon but say mo agu wurem. I'm telling you people. Me say, ade bia me de ba be ye mo no. Ghana for hu mo begum so. Mo koye campaign omo bum say mo a. Ade bia me de be ye mo no. Ghanaians will see you people as enemies of the state. Yet amobo. And I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to incite anybody to attack any MPP member. But the more records in Ghana for, I will explain you people. I will explain you to Ghanaians. Ghana for will see through you, criminals. That is what they do. And that is the things they've been doing. He's a humble person. He carries his own luggage. He went to Prempeh. He went to Oxford. A man for the people. Kufuor, you know, he's going to change potholes into Nkwasiasem. Omoba jantra for them go amuso. Omoba sikeria. Ghana at 50. These are criminals. In 10 days, come and say, hey, man, Kufuor. And say, we some say, then Kufuor, oh, Kufuor, Osikofiana peace and moi. Ubuso say Kofi de no ye oh na say Kofi ono see Kofi Annan Peace Center nkwasiafo ma Kofi Annan Peace Center na Kofi legacy na say me say Jimmy Fori bi nenam Ratchet Park an Ratchet Park asay na monhwe de aye Zuba ene Ashanti regional me say mo de mo ye nwan Matine Kufuor do want to say toilet 8 years kwasiafo afero ba wusa Ratchet Park asay Matine Kufuor do for 8 years afero ba wusa Ratchet Park me see MPP for o treat him say moa for a long time kakre bi no wo nyansa no o nyina be frim mo na mo agimi wo mu no MPP for be treat him say moa because you are not reasoning afero ba wusa Ratchet Park asay inti MC adwuma KM boss ejuma regional minister san kwasi ade we tira man for some ye nkurasefo no for 8 years na Ratchet Park ni ejuma meboa mo hu fin mo ko school a mo nsua bibia pamphlet na mo kenkan enti mo shere nim nyansa enti nkanfo no ho mo hu some ye nkurasefo and I keep telling you people this tackle the issues critically and stop being foolish when it comes to MPP. Be honest with yourselves and question the NPP. How can you tell me MPP have power for 8 years? After 8 years, 1 year, you are saying, say, Ratchet Park and I say. Now, Ratchet Park last year and I say, Mama Jimmy, it is school now, Mokoro. The Munima Sama Kotina school, they have not Kwasebia Chama, Denama Bafie. Apply the real census. Munimunyansa. Mo Jimmy too much. Mo Jimmy too much. Sometimes my feel say school nyamamo. Because Mo be the mutumi acted to say the Munimunyansa. What na Ekufuor 9 years because he handed over the 9th year. Into Enrich na Ratchet Park and say, Enrich and a Ratchet Park and say, yeah, and what is some master and a Ratchet Park no into Kazuba and Yadain. Uncle Physical May. Hey, Nasa, O2 for the CKJT, O2 for my Ratchet Park, and I'm a boy. Wait that boy. Media Asana Mibusao. So O2 for the sea, a confornoche, O2 for the sea, a day. Otum for the sea, eye kejetia. And I say Ratchet Park de boy nyading. Yan fama nana nansi. Yetena krumu yenka no kre. Ye de azan atro. Bibia ne de otum for akotare ho. Na nse me ho so mu jimi. Kevin de otum for atem. Ade otum for se me de otum for atem, otum for ni lawyer. Ai Kevin tell de otum for atem me see. Mumbusa mo party ne de waya ma santeman e jimi for. Otum for ti baby na me do chanchan hene maba. Me do usie. Onana no be Jimmy inti edu sometime anana na metia omo inti wo de woman permission inti ana problem be no de bia na otumfo ana Kevin na kasi otumfo muti kro ni makro ne sei ya MPP fo ya de asantefo na wo ya asantini na wajimi ha wo ya asantini na wajimi ana ti kro nim ana MPP ba na mo twie di te se nwan na emu bi yeti kro nim na mo twie di se nwan omudu nkan okogo jantrafo so mo de 47 MPs the ban kran obi antuma mfa school ba akwa amba obi antuma mfa hospital ba akwa amba na ye nipa yapon oja isa obufu abuafu wan ubuafu sisi ana wamuna no sisi a ubuafu ho a wamuna sisi ayi no me pese mbusa question ba ko be o ade na isa ubuafu yi o ubuafu no die ntina ubuafu se muna wamuna no ade ntina wamuna se dia na maka enim dia pa na maka obetumi ma kokoto esi a dia pa na maka ubuofu hu dendenden a wemuna ana dia meka na ma menka biem ya mu hem siri o mutumi ma mesere sa na ma bom nsem aka Yesu de mapon ne pa video bi de jamo se na be ya mo MPP for bi na mo jimi no because yi Kevin kan yo me pe ba ku bi de jamo ya pon da videos ni kwa kotete me pe ba ku bi de jamo ai hey chama want to me we have done 3 hours 30 minutes let me do chama want to me quickly now chama want to me story in here thank you team let me just clear chama want to me and the chama want to me case no chairman want to me's fate nears as court orders him to bring next witness or consider his case closed and there is a star witness star boy chairman want to me ko sha dakam and yebusa ne say na galana okoye no eye witnesses prosecution witness for nyina say wona omo ho kwan ana wona leadi ye na wona wo se omo nya gala no na wo yi ano say e de ko sha dakam yesi be ma body ni na nsuo ozi your honor asabri nyina ne say di polo kwaje asase no na meka che de say mene no ebe che yenua ede kube na kube ni nyini ane ate ache che ba wutu wejimitu osi ono anko galamsey na nipa na oye akwa we na osi achiri twa nechi osi obi bega so Kevin Taylor meboa asma me kan anya no kre chema wutu mi ko sha adaka mu na ebusa ne se oh yes why gala nkofo de omi adwuma nyina agya tum yes o machines ena ubu nnua na ubu nsuo ena wutu nsuo na wutu amena esi ano de na woka wo ho wo na ye star witness eye kudus star boy and the star boy ko rada kem ena star boy esi ano nkofo ne se eye be pester ma wutu story achiro eye adwuma de na wokodi ye no nkofo na ono ye o gala ne nyina se eye gala na wo ye no what they say na de na woka ho e kafa ho me be kiro chema wutu mi se e cha wutu wejimi tu chema wutu mi ma nche de okan ye o say chew budi chema wutu o say oh my Mitchell. Oh, team, I'm trying to get Chema to me story. Oh, what's going on? Chema to me say, court. Henry Okum. PW2 didn't come to us for mining. Or see, oh, a prosecution witness number 2, no, one ba me ho for mining. Now, the oyena say, Henry Okum told me he wanted to reclaim the land and plant coconut, so that when it nurtures or matures, then we will share. Osio, papa ne frano Henry Okum na attorney general denaba manabeka se onemi ye gala ema me ye gala no. Henry Okum ba me ho, oba me ho no ena osi o. Opeso ye kubefuo. Opeso ye kubefuo. Into Okum no, de okache me se obesanka asase no, o ma ye gala mse oso no ke yenye ni ye na ye ndua kube na kube ni nyini ane ache. I mean, you know what you it's here, yeah. Moyam kwasi afopa. I say, Henry Okum didn't come to us for mining. He told me he wanted to reclaim the land and plant coconuts so that when it matures, we will share. I say, Wangwagala, Rokodia Kube. Na kubeni nyini a na nka omache akwa we kwase apanyi say the good to be a coconut shareholder abofru good to be is now a coconut shareholder obi agwagoto Chelsea no abofru want to just say coconut shareholder you are a shareholder in coconut farm. I thought you had 3 billion to buy Chelsea kwase asem omo jimie almost anim nyansa o. Chema to me suddenly he has become a coconut shareholder. As much Chema to me kojina daka mu ndeka kire Ghana for no. Also, your Anna. Yes, Kasa, Bemansu, don't cry. Mustafa Hamid. Please don't cry. Boss. Your Anna. Anna, the lawyer no. Lawyer Gutajino so afraid judge no.
My lord, it's me. Sorry, my lord, it's I. It's I. It's I, Lawyer Kutajini. Please, my lord, can you give me a time I explaining things to you? The case is old case. It's 1978, 28th century, the case. But it's not now the case. Thank you, my lord. Yes, please, my lord. My lord, it's me. Sorry, my lord, it's I. It's I. It's I, Lawyer Kutajini. Please, my lord, can you give me a time I explaining things to you? The case is old case. It's 1978, 28th century, the case. But it's not now the case.
Aye, it's not now the case. We're from Chelsea owner to coconut shareholder. Abofuru. You have to go to those who don't cry. Please don't cry. The lawyer no. Also, my lord. Henry Okum came. And what is happening is that it is Okum is tell me. So you know, my lord. Yes, don't cry. Don't cry. That's what lie. Okum is a friend and is come us to do Galamsey, my lawyer, my I'm also wait, then the typist okay, bro, for now. Nipa na type it there. And it's Okum is come So the galam say is a land and Okum is say is get cocoa. I say wait, let him type. Go on. So it's Okum is bring coconut. It's Okum bring coconut where it's me chairman to me. You know I am chairman. Everybody know me. MPP. Everybody knows that we are MPP. The elephant. Wait. Go on. So it's me MPP chairman and Okum is say coconut is sweet and coconut is bring investment and coconut is going to help the government MPP Ekufuado to us to know that Bawumia is a president. Wait. And this Okum is bring coconut from Burkina. So it's a coconut that is grow so that we can land and appreciation the land and reclamation. Reclamation. So wait. Is it reclamation or reclamation? Go ahead. And it's Okum is bring. So I give land and Okum is clean the land. It's also Okum is clean the land and we start grow coconut. Wait. So Okum is telling me that coconut is favorite fruit and it is make more money. So it's make more money. So we put money into reclamation and coconut farm. My honor, don't cry. The judge, the lawyer, said, don't cry. Don't cry. What's my honor? People is not like me. People is not like me. You know, Ghana, people is not like me. I say, oh, go on. Judge, just watching the spares. I say, go on. My judge, people is not like me. Don't cry. Continue. And my judge, and so it's grow the coconut. And the coconut is water, is rain, and it is wipe them away. Wait. It's what? It's wipe them away. Don't cry. And again, all right, thank you very much. Good evening and happy birthday to Walker Bills. Have a wonderful birthday. It's coming from myself and a team. Walker Bills, happy birthday to you. You have been a member of this platform. I really appreciate you being here. Enjoy your birthday. God be with you and God be with every single person. Your Honor, it is me. It is go home and we have seen tomorrow. Don't cry. Have a wonderful night. God bless you. Cheers and good night. Abuache. Gigim.
Yo, we are best fishermen. Solo for no answer mine. Abuache. You will for Belgium fan. It was better Belgium fan. It was two Belgium fan. Why you're yet? Why round what? Why you're yet? Why round what? Why you're yet? Why round what? Why you're yet? Super why round what? It was for Belgium fan. It was better Belgium fan.
Next day on the CNN app. Little by little, age-related macular degeneration tries to take away your vision. You're not the type to sit back and do nothing, so now's the time to take action and make a plan with your doctor that includes PreserVision. It contains the clinically proven formula recommended by the NEI to help reduce the risk of moderate to advanced AMD progression. PreserVision is backed by over 20 years of clinical studies, and it's right here in the palm of your hand.
You spent a lifetime becoming who you are. Don't let AMD take that away.
It's your vision. Take action. Choose PreserVision.
This steak is so good, I'd invite it to my barbecue and let it DJ.
Steak is good.
Excuse me. I tried everything for my stubborn dandruff, and then I found Nizoral. It works differently to get to the root cause of dandruff. Its active ingredient is 10 times more effective at fighting fungus, the primary cause of dandruff. Say goodbye to stubborn dandruff with Nizoral. Now in refreshing peppermint and tea tree scent.
Go ahead, crank the volume. We got you. USPS has increased daily package processing capacity by 46% in the past 5 years. And with USPS Ground Advantage, your packages stay in our secure network, dock to door, nationwide. For full visibility, near real-time tracking, affordable pricing, for peace of mind. USPS Ground Advantage.
You installed this?
Even had a few screws left over.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising. That's why with Farmers, you can get quality and savings.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Who will you honor this Memorial Day? Find out with a search on Ancestry. Explore military records, photos, and more to piece together your family story and the heroes who shaped it. Memberships are on sale now, so start your journey today.
Doctors recommend Colace stool softener for gentle, dependable relief from constipation. It's so gentle, doctors even recommend it during pregnancy and after surgery. Colace increases water in the stool, making it softer so it's easier to go. No harsh laxatives, cramping, or straining. Colace.
We handcraft every Stearns & Foster using the finest materials like indulgent memory foam and ultra-conforming inner springs for a beautiful mattress and indescribable comfort. Save up to $900 on select adjustable mattress sets at stearnsandfoster.com.
Behold, the new Harry's Plus. 5 German-engineered steel blades, premium metal handle, our most advanced pivot mechanism, at a price that makes Big Razor big mad and guys everywhere very happy. Harry's Plus.
Still dealing with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease symptoms despite treatment?
Then you know there can be unpredictability.
Workarounds. And avoiding.
It was time to make a change.
I changed. I changed too.
A doctor recommended Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
I got rapid symptom relief at 2 weeks. Check. Rinvoq helped visibly repair my intestinal lining. Check.
I got lasting remission, meaning few to no symptoms. Check.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Put UC and Crohn's in check and keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about
no long-term contracts. Monitoring and deterrence plans starting around $1 a day.
CNN is sending me around the country to see what it means to be an American today. What could possibly go wrong?
Craig Ferguson, American on Purpose. May 30th on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
This is the U.S. national team. He gets his goal! Spectacular! Nothing can stop us now.
Tonight, and I quote, a life-enhancing, God-given chemical. That's how Tucker Carlson describes nicotine, the highly addictive chemical in tobacco plants. But Tucker is far from the only person pushing the health benefits of nicotine. Mina Durson is out front.
This is nicotine, and you've been lied to about it your whole life.
In the land of the influencer, nicotine is having a moment.
Nicotine, which I would highly recommend to every person in this room, is a life-enhancing, God-given chemical. That's just my view.
Nicotine is a cognitive enhancer.
Long thought of as dangerous, nicotine is now being discussed by some biohackers, lifestyle creators, and podcasters for its potential health benefits. It's even getting kind of a rebrand from this administration.
Nicotine itself does not cause cancer. There's no evidence that it's carcinogenic. It may, in fact, have some health benefits.
Nicotine is a chemical found in the tobacco plant, which triggers dopamine release in the brain, temporarily making you feel good. But the effects on the body vary depending on how it's consumed, from cigarettes to oral pouches to topical nicotine patches. The American Lung Association calls nicotine highly addictive and slammed influencers for promoting it, saying they often fail to account for the danger and long-term harm of using it, even in small doses, and that nicotine rapidly affects the entire body and causes blood vessels to narrow, restricts oxygen flow, and alters brain chemistry. But some big voices in or adjacent to the Make America Healthy Again movement are embracing a new curiosity about nicotine in conversations on their public platforms.
The whole MAHA group of people live by it.
There is good evidence, unless you have cancer, that you should use a small amount of nicotine if you want your brain to work better.
Nicotine is neuroprotective. Nicotine is great for us. Not that everyone should take it.
Nicotine enthusiasts say it's gotten a bad rap because of its association with smoking, and that it's the tobacco in cigarettes that causes most of the health risks.
Remember, weights or no weights?
Fitness influencer Erin Opria has been using nicotine as a health supplement for years.
Started researching about like the perimenopause, the brain fog. I'm like, there has to be something to this.
She started wearing a nicotine patch regularly. Do you remember the first time you used it?
Absolutely.
Tell me about it.
Energy was through the roof.
Was part of the appeal that it's maybe something that's like a little controversial sounding?
Yes, that's when I'm like, this sounds a little weird, but that's when things get really exciting. The stories I get are unbelievable.
𝗟𝗡𝗩 does not have a medical background, but regularly shares her experience with her hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers. You get DMs about nicotine every day?
Every day. Not a single day that goes by that I don't. It's changed my 86-year-old mother-in-law's life. Within a couple days of wearing the patch, she improved dramatically.
So what's qualifying you, if you're not a doctor, to give medical recommendations?
Oh, I don't give medical recommendations. I share information and then I say, hey, go study on your own and find out if it's best for you.
Like a lot of nicotine fans, 𝗟𝗡𝗩's entry point came via podcaster Dr. Brian Ardis.
Nicotine alone is known to improve, reverse, or can cure Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, all arthritises.
A retired chiropractor who promotes COVID conspiracy theories and cites study after study to tout nicotine as a cure-all.
I wear a 7-milligram nicotine patch every single day. I will for the rest of my life, and I invite all of you at home to come to my wake one day, and I want you to pull up my shirt when you come by the casket. I will have a nicotine patch on my body before I'm buried. That's how committed I am.
Have you talked to any of these researchers behind these studies?
No, I haven't talked to those research study authors. Oh, no, you can read their findings, and any human being on earth can read it. So the qualifications are, can you read English? Do you understand medical terminology?
So you feel confident in your understandings of these studies and what you're delivering to your audience?
Absolutely.
But Dr. Paul Newhouse, a leading figure in nicotine research, says Ardis is mischaracterizing the data.
If these benefits were as widespread as he's suggesting, I think we'd know it a lot more clearly than we do.
Newhouse has been running studies on nicotine for decades.
We think that nicotinic stimulation may have cognitive benefits for some people under some conditions, but not a general benefit for everyone.
How risky is this?
Well, I think the short-term risks are not large. Many people will get side effects from using nicotine and they will find it unpleasant and they will stop. But certain people may find it habit-forming. I just think we should be a little cautious about just taking anything because some influencer said it. I just think that's a risky way to run your life.
𝗟𝗡𝗩 has now been wearing 3.5 milligrams of nicotine almost every day for around 2 years. How would you characterize your relationship with nicotine?
It's a good friend of mine. Me and nicotine are pals.
When I was telling people that we were coming to do this story, a lot of people thought I was kidding. They were like, nicotine? That's disgusting.
We're so brainwashed. Yeah, we're all told it's been bad. That's what we've all been told our whole life.
What do you say to people who think it's incredibly dangerous that you're promoting nicotine?
I say that's okay. You can believe that, but then go study. And then once you've researched and you've learned and you've listened to both sides of it, then come back and let's talk.
I mean, it's really incredible in a certain sense. Nicotine, obviously, highly addictive, right? That was the issue with cigarettes. But a pro-nicotine push, just in that context, right? It seems in some senses unbelievable. You know, you're talking about some of these really important influencers that you spoke to. Why is it gaining so much steam right now?
Well, I think that, you know, there's a perception that nicotine on its own is safe and it's very accessible. You know, these are like over-the-counter products. But there's this sort of larger shift that you can see with these influencers, and it really has its roots in the COVID pandemic. A lot of these people, you know, that's when they stopped trusting the mainstream medical institutions. They stopped trusting the government recommendations. And, you know, some of them said to us, if the FDA says that this is not an approved thing, that makes me more curious. It doesn't turn me off. It makes me want to try it more. So there is this kind of shift and this push towards maybe these counterculture wellness recommendations, these sort of alternative therapies, this idea that like they're getting a hack that maybe isn't signed off on. And
sort of the whole that it's outside the mainstream is why you should do it.
Yeah, and that, you know, this is a secret that I would rather trust a DM I got from a follower or a creator, you know, versus what the CDC is telling me to do.
Oh, all right, Mina, thank you very much. Incredible piece. And next, major news tonight about a SpaceX launch that the company has a lot riding on. And Stephen Colbert filming the final episode of The Late Show. The end of an era, but the beginning of something new. And we do have new details about this final broadcast.
Stand by, brake master. 3, 2, 1. Effect. Roll your brake, please.
Tonight on 360. The stories that matter. Anderson Cooper 360. Next on CNN.
You know what's crazy?
That we're on unlimited income but get an unlimited buffet?
And a senior price.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy. How does Golden Corral make any money?
It's crazy.
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 Don't let heartburn get in the way of the food you love. Get fast, powerful relief with Tums. Every game's better when you love food back. Tums.
Royal Match. Is that Royal Match? It looks different.
Yeah. Heard they have a whole bunch of mini games, so there's always something fresh to play.
All right, that's it. I'm re-downloading it.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Royal Match. Download now.
And Doug.
Thank you both for coming in. I'm a bit worried about Doug Jr. I know how important Liberty Mutual is to your family.
They customize car insurance to save people hundreds.
Right. Well, Doug Jr. keeps writing this.
Douglas Jr. Well, at least he spelled insurance right, right?
He did not.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Pronamel, clinical enamel strength, can help us to keep our enamel for a lifetime. It's backed by science. It is clinically proven to strengthen our teeth. I would recommend this toothpaste to everybody. It's really an amazing product.
Eczema is unpredictable, but you can flare less with 𝗟𝗚𝗡. A once-monthly treatment for moderate to severe eczema that helps you spend less time managing your symptoms.
𝗟𝗚𝗡 can deliver real and lasting results, like skin that's still more clear at 1 year.
Don't use if you're allergic to 𝗟𝗚𝗡. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with 𝗟𝗚𝗡. Before starting 𝗟𝗚𝗡, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Clearer skin, itch relief. Once monthly dosing with or without topicals. You can flare less with 𝗟𝗚𝗡. Talk to your doctor about 𝗟𝗚𝗡 for eczema.
This isn't for show. This is America, where we open our doors, step out into our lawns, and do whatever the hell we want. We build, we burn, we party, a lot. We love, we learn. We cut it razor sharp and keep it green, because this isn't some royal palace. It's just soil, sweat, and 250 years of the American yard. So come around back. We'll show you what it's all about.
Coil technology to help you sleep soundly no matter what's moving on the other side of the bed, while providing individualized support for every sleeping position. People at their best get their beauty rest. Save during our Memorial Day sale at a retailer near you.
Introducing Stoco, the only apparel with adjustable medical-grade support, engineered with high-strength cables that reinforce the body, designed to help you overcome injuries, minimize pain, and regain the confidence to get back out there. Learn more at stoco.com.
Messy happens. When it does, there's HomeAglow. For just $19, HomeAglow will clean your entire house. Everything from dishes to vacuuming, even laundry. Join thousands of Americans and book your first cleaning today for just $19.
Come to us. What's happening?
Okay, we're hearing jets overhead.
We've all seen Russian bots on social putting out spammy content.
And one day you surprise her.
That what happens up here connects all of us.
And breaking news, the end of an era. Right now, you're looking at live pictures of the Ed Sullivan Theater. Late night show host Stephen Colbert taping the final episode of The Late Show tonight. CBS canceled Colbert and the show in a very controversial move. But it's impossible to ignore how Trump was and still is Colbert's top target on the show. Brian Stelter is out front.
Halfway around the world, Trump still got his ding-dong caught in the door hinge of the Middle East.
Night after night.
No obstruction.
Year after year.
Donald Trump's 1 billionth lie.
Stephen Colbert had a message for his viewers. You are not crazy. This news cycle might be crazy, but you're not.
Why do we have to pretend it's normal when an old man wanders around a roof and shouts at us?
The endless fire hose of President Trump news and noise gave Colbert a purpose.
Because you got to remember that you're not crazy, no matter what Donald Trump says.
And just remember, what you're seeing and what you're reading is not what's happening.
Oh, good.
Depending on what you believe about CBS canceling him, all that Trump evisceration may have hastened the end of his show.
I mean, at this point, let it all hang out. What does it matter? Everything. Stop trying.
But Colbert is still managing to put on a smile.
You have maintained such grace through this process. I would not have been able to.
Fun? I'm having fun with my friends. That's how. You get to come on here. I get to hear those guys, these lovely people.
And instead, those A-list friends are criticizing CBS for him. Here's Bruce Springsteen last night.
I'm here in support tonight for Stephen because you're the first guy in America who's lost his show because we got a president who can't take a joke.
Yes, the Trump of it all is inescapable. But Colbert did not set out to be a voice of the resistance.
For years, I played an over-the-top, like, conservative, character.
Yes.
Not as long as you did, but for many years.
And The Late Show was always about more than politics. But on election night 2016, as Colbert helped viewers process Trump's shocking victory, the show changed. He had said he wanted to make a comedy show about love, but instead...
At a certain point, and you can guess what that point was, I realized that in some ways we were doing a late-night comedy show about loss. And that's related to love, because sometimes you only truly know how much you love something when you get a sense that you might be losing it.
As for CBS saying the end of The Late Show was a financial decision, Colbert has been skeptical.
In a completely unrelated story, on Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired."
Trump did say that, as well as this.
He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next.
Reminding some of how autocrats have tried to silence comedians in other countries. But tonight, Colbert will be heard loud and clear, as other late-night comics urge their viewers to watch his sign-off instead.
I think you know how I feel about the fact that they are being pushed out. I hope the people who did the pushing feel ashamed of themselves tonight.
And as for Colbert, he said he was never trying to win elections. He was always just trying to win laughs.
I hope they laughed. I hope they felt better at the end of the day. I mean, that's it. We're there. We're the last thing you see. A lot of things happen in a day, but we bat last. And so we get the last take that people hear before they go to bed. And I hope it made their day better.
Brian Stelter, CNN.
And before we go tonight, breaking news just in, SpaceX scrubbing a highly anticipated launch. This is the third version of what is the world's largest and most powerful rocket, the Starship. Elon Musk moments ago saying that the hydraulic pin holding that tower arm in place did not retract. He says if that can be fixed tonight, they'll try again tomorrow. All of this, of course, as the company is racing to get the rocket ready to send astronauts to the moon by 2028, that whole moon base. And there are a lot of eyes on it because Elon Musk's rocket and satellite companies plan to go public. They want to do it as quickly as possible. The market is, of course, at such frothy levels. It is expected to be the largest IPO in history, and it could make Musk the world's first trillionaire. Thanks so much for joining us. AC360 with Anderson Cooper begins right now.
Good evening from the newsroom. Keeping them honest tonight, backlash is growing to President Trump's so-called anti-weaponization fund, and a critical piece of it is coming from Republican lawmakers, one of whom today called it, quote, stupid on stilts. The opposition was strong enough to derail Senate legislation to pay for the president's immigration crackdown. It's a bill he says he wants on his desk to sign by June 1st. Now it appears that Republican senators may not even be able to muster the votes to pass it because of how toxic the nearly $1.8 billion fund has become. A closed-door meeting with Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche apparently did not help matters much. Sources described it as tense, saying hardly any members spoke up to defend the fund. When asked whether the Acting Attorney General had convinced her to support it, Maine Senator Susan Collins said simply no. Going into the meeting, North Carolina's Tom Tillis said much more.
What do you want to hear from Todd Blanche today?
About the payout pot for punks? Not a lot. Look, under what circumstances would it ever make sense to provide restitution for people who were either pled guilty or were found guilty in a court of law? You want to talk about maybe providing restitution for people who weren't found guilty? Fine. But if you do this, why not for the poor, mostly peaceful protesters in Kenosha and Portland? I mean, my God, do you see where this would head? These people don't deserve restitution. Many of them deserve to be in prison. Some of them deserve the pardon because they were over-prosecuted. But this is, I mean, this is just stupid on stilts.
Stupid on stilts, and his other one was payout pot for punks. Senator Tillis is retiring soon and speaking more plainly now than he might have otherwise. So is former Republican leader Mitch McConnell, who put out a statement tonight which reads, "So the nation's top law enforcement official is asking for a slush fund to pay people who assault cops? Utterly stupid, morally wrong. Take your pick." You don't have to take their word on whether violent felons will be eligible to apply for taxpayer dollars. You can just listen to the acting attorney general himself.
You're the nation's top law enforcement official right now. Would you be okay with people who were convicted of hurting police getting taxpayer money?
Just to be clear, people that hurt police get money all the time. Okay, there's a process where if you believe you have your rights violated, you can apply for funds, you can sue, you can file a claim, you can go to court. In some of those cases, the state, the government, the federal government settles those cases. It's abhorrent to ever touch a law enforcement officer, which is why anytime anybody does that, and it's a federal officer, we'll prosecute them. But that's a completely different question with whether an individual is allowed to apply for a claim. Whether they'll get a claim, depends. I can't, it would not be appropriate for me to talk about absolutes, like absolutely not, under no circumstances. I mean, we can talk about hypotheticals till we're blue in the face, but that really wouldn't be fruitful.
Well, he's certainly not saying no. No one in the administration is. He did say it'll be up to the 5 commissioners who administer this fund. He, of course, will be picking them, and the president will be able to fire any or all of them. 2020 election denier Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, now says he will be seeking money from the fund. And attorneys for Enrico Tarrio tell us today he'll be applying for some of your taxpayer dollars. He, of course, is the former Proud Boys leader who received the longest sentence of any January 6th defendant, 22 years for a seditious conspiracy. That's when 2 or more people conspiring to overthrow, destroy, or oppose the U.S. government by force. There's any number of people who engage in violent acts who might apply. Here are some of them. Based on what the acting attorney general has repeatedly said, not one single person you see trying to crush Officer Michael Hodges in a door will be ineligible to apply for taxpayer money. They could all apply. The same goes for the mob that chased then Vice President Pence and his family out of the Senate, some of them calling for him to be hanged. They could buy plenty of rope with money they could possibly get. Also eligible are the ones who beat, tasered, trampled, and bear-sprayed officers, injuring some 140 of them. The acting attorney general won't rule out that any of these people will get money, though he does seem incensed that people are noticing this.
This Department of Justice does not stand for assaulting law enforcement, and the kind of fake outrage at this because there's a handful of folks who might apply.
Well, keeping them honest, prosecutors charged more than 1,580 people and secured roughly 1,270 convictions in connection with January 6th. That's a lot of handfuls of folks who might apply. And the outrage isn't fake unless Republican lawmakers are faking it when they hold up key legislation for president from their own party and say things like this.
The payout pot for punks? I mean, this is just stupid on stilts.
For more on all of this, let's go to CNN's Lauren Fox on Capitol Hill. Is it clear if more Senate Republicans will speak out against the fund?
I mean, Anderson, Republicans are deeply frustrated about the fact that they are even talking about this fund, given the fact that they have so many other priorities that they want to handle before the midterm elections. You know, you heard from Senator Tom Tillis there. You have heard from other Republicans who have either dodged questions in the halls or behind closed doors in a meeting today with Todd Blanche were clear that they had questions, concerns, and they still needed clarity before they were willing to even take a vote on legislation that would include some kind of this would include some kind of this fund. Many Republicans want to put guardrails on where this money could specifically go to, and that is the reason why today Senate Republicans went home. They were supposed to have a vote that had been unified amongst themselves to vote for money for immigration enforcement. That is an issue that Donald Trump ran on. That is an issue Republicans support, and yet it was derailed by a debate about this fund. And I would just note that this is not happening in a vacuum, Anderson. This is happening in the course of a week in which one of their colleagues lost on Saturday, Senator Bill Cassidy, after Donald Trump's political allies took him down in the state of Louisiana. Then you had the news earlier this week that Senator John Cornyn was not going to be endorsed by the president, but instead his opponent, Ken Paxton, was going to be endorsed. And I think a lot of Republicans are looking around the room, looking within their conference and saying, if this can happen to someone like Senator John Cornyn, who was the Republican whip when Donald Trump was passing his tax bill in his first administration, perhaps this could happen to anyone. And I think that it is causing a lot of Republicans to look at whether or not they are willing to take these kinds of political votes for the president at a time when they are not even sure in the future there is going to be any protection from his political allies. So I think that's part of the dynamic that's playing out right now, Anderson. But obviously, a lot of Republicans in that meeting with Todd Blanche had a lot of questions about how this fund was going to be used, and we are told that very few people spoke out in support of it.
All right, Lauren Fox, thanks so much. Joining me now is Colorado Democratic Congressman Jason Crow. He sits on the House Intelligence and Armed Services Committee and is a former Army Ranger. Congressman, does the Republican backlash against this fund feel different to you from previous times GOP lawmakers have bristled at moves by the administration but ultimately fell in line?
Anderson, I can only think of one timeline here. 10 years. 10 years. We've been living with Donald Trump and seeing his conduct, seeing him break the law, disregard the rule of law, disregard the Constitution, burn his perceived political enemies, turn his back on his once allies. 10 years this has been happening, and today we're supposed to believe that Republicans in Congress are looking around and saying, oh, well, what's happening? Like, wow, wait, they could do this to me too. I just don't believe it. These people have been perpetuating this, have been platforming this for a decade. They know exactly what they've created here, which is exactly why it's the American people who now have to stand up and fix it.
I just want to remind people where you were on January 6th. You were trapped in the House gallery as rioters breached the Capitol. You were protecting your then colleague, Congresswoman Susan Wild. We've heard some January 6 rioters in recent days say this fund is long overdue and that they deserve the money. Just when you hear that, when you see the idea of, you know, Enrique Tarrio applying for funds, what do you say to that?
What almost makes me physically ill, right? These are people who brutally beat 160 police officers, some of which still have the visible and invisible scars of that, who deal with that trauma to this day. These are people that I know, they're friends of mine. I see them every single day on the Capitol like all of my colleagues do. These are people who knew what they were doing, who attempted to conduct an insurrection. And it's not just the January 6 insurrectionists either. You know, this is a slush fund to send a message to anyone who is willing to kowtow or kiss Donald Trump's ring that, hey, you just do what I tell you to do, turn your back on the Constitution, turn your back on the rule of law, there's a pardon waiting for you, and there's a big payout waiting for you, right? The message is pretty clear, right? People like Tina Peters, who was convicted in Colorado by a jury of her peers, and convicted felon to 9 years in prison for trying to overturn an election and perpetuating Donald Trump's big lie. She also is eligible for this. So
sure.
It's just
all the
beyond
fake
the pale.
electors. All the fake electors would be eligible for this. I mean, some of them may even be on this commission, for all we know.
That's right. I mean, this is just another example of the rank corruption. And listen, let's make another point here. This is paid for by the American taxpayer. This is not some magic pot of money. This is not coming from Donald Trump. The American taxpayer is paying for this money, much like they're going to pay for the billion-dollar gold ballroom. They paid for the private plane fleet for Kristi Noem. They're paying for the brand-new golf course at Andrews Air Force Base, and on and on and on. This is monopoly money to Donald Trump, but to Americans, to my constituents who are losing their health care, losing their homes, losing their farms, this is money that could be life-saving to them.
Does this encourage others to, other wannabe insurrectionists or, to show up at polling stations on election day at the midterms and feel they can, do something and Donald Trump will have their back, that this fund, could get a pardon and even get cash?
Well, that's exactly the point. I mean, that is precisely the message, is there will be impunity, you won't be held accountable. So long as you show blind loyalty to Donald Trump, you can violate the law, you can do pretty much anything you want, and not only will there not be consequences, but there'll be potentially a big payout, a windfall at the end of it. I mean, it is just, it's egregious on every single level. How could any of us be surprised? Just going back to my original point, all these Republicans in the House and Senate who are looking around saying, oh God, I can't believe this is happening. Why would he do this? I don't like this. Listen, here's my message to them. You created this. You brought us here to this moment. There have been years and incident after incident of incident. If you don't know what we're dealing with and who we're dealing with by now, then I just can't simply help you. I can't help you, which is why it's the American people who are going to have to stand up and express their voice and vote and get new people in who actually can pay attention to reality.
Yeah, I mean, some of the people now, Mitch McConnell, making the statement, some of these folks, in the hours after January 6th, once order was restored, they seemed to want a divorce from Donald Trump. They quickly reversed themselves. I mean, Lindsey Graham, was talking about how sad it was to end that way, and then he suddenly got yelled at by some people as he was, trying to go home through the airport in Washington, and then was playing golf with the president again.
Yeah, that's also what's happened, probably a dozen plus times. There's been this series of just horrible events that have happened that normally in years past would be an awakening for folks, and they would say, oh, I've had enough, whether it's the insurrection, the first impeachment, the second impeachment, an unlawful war in Iran, an illegal operation in Venezuela, an illegal operation in the Caribbean, unbelievable corruption. And they say, oh, God, this is terrible. I can't believe this. And then, a week later, Donald Trump threatens to have them primaried or makes a phone call or invites them to the White House and gives them a free coffee mug, and everything is fine, and people move on. So, I mean, that's the cycle, which is why I'm just not holding my breath anymore for anybody to wake up and to show conscience. If by now they haven't done the right thing, and don't get me wrong, I'm not shutting my door. Today is a great day to do the right thing. And if they want to, I welcome them into the coalition of patriotic Americans who are saying for the democracy, but I'm just not going to hold my breath for it anymore.
Congressman Crow, appreciate it. Thank you. Coming up next, more on the Congressman's Republican colleagues. Will this fund be a bridge too far for any of them? Also, it is Stephen Colbert's last Late Show. We'll look back at some of them and the many conversations we've had.
This is your 22nd appearance on the show, and that makes you tied for most frequent guest with John Oliver.
Oh, Oliver!
And I think, here's the thing, is that I'm pretty sure he's coming on one more time. So that gives you the silver, but it befits you because you are, as we know, the Silver Surfer of cable news.
Anderson Cooper 360, brought to you by Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us.
I used to think all money managers were the same, but Fisher Investments is different.
How different are they really?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, and they reach out proactively.
They probably invest in a bunch of mutual funds like other money managers.
No, they build a tailored portfolio based on your personal goals, needs, and more.
Well, they probably have a complex fee structure.
No, Fisher has a transparent fee that's a percentage of your portfolio.
So we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
It's a crocodile.
I know what it is.
He's helping make sure I don't snack.
You should try wonderful pistachios. They're tasty and healthy.
Pistachios, huh?
Jeff,
Yes, Stanley.
I did not think this through.
Zepbound, watch this.
Zepbound helps adults with obesity lose weight and keep it off. Watch this. And data shows that people taking Zepbound lost up to 48 pounds. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take if allergic to it or if you or someone in your family had MTC or MEN too. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Stop Zepbound and call your doctor if you have severe stomach pain or a serious allergic reaction. Severe side effects may include inflamed pancreas or gallbladder problems. Tell your doctor if you experience vision changes before scheduled procedures with anesthesia. If you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. Taking Zepbound with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about Zepbound. Zepbound? Watch this. Watch this.
1-A-Day 50-plus multivitamins are formulated for your overall health with nutrients to support brain and muscle function. So you're not just setting the pace, you're one step ahead.
Next time, slow down.
1-A-Day 50-plus, the one for you.
Extreme weather moving into the area. Better stay inside.
Don't let what's happening outside affect how you feel inside. Pella windows are tested against extreme heat, cold, wind, and rain.
Pressure. We invade France Monday.
We are faced with 2 aggressive storms.
Call Eisenhower.
We have a small window, but the timing must be perfect.
Send my men into the storm.
He'll never see it coming.
We will accept nothing less than full victory.
Pressure, the untold true story of D-Day. Rated PG-13, only in theaters May 29th, with special engagement at Dolby Cinema.
You have no idea how long Marvin has waited to sing like this. Before getting his new teeth from Affordable Dentures and Implants, Marv wouldn't let himself dream about getting back on stage. But now, he's back under the bright lights, right where he belongs. Sing your heart out, Marvin. You've earned it. Affordable Dentures and Implants. That's what we do.
Our sales are certain to go through the roof.
Are you for imprint certain?
Everybody loves space chickens. Don't they?
Certainty matters. So when you need the right high-quality promotional products, printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time, that's the certainty of 4imprint. Wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team by visiting 4imprint.com.
4imprint for certain.
Oh! I am a chicken master!
Craig Ferguson, American on Purpose, May 30th on CNN.
More now on discontent in the Senate over the Department of Justice's push for nearly $1.8 billion so-called anti-weaponization fund. Under the plan, January 6 offenders who violently assaulted police officers could potentially be paid with taxpayer money. Here again is how Republican North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis described it.
Look, under what circumstances would it ever make sense to provide restitution for people who were either pled guilty or were found guilty in a court of law? These people don't deserve restitution. Many of them deserve to be in prison. Some of them deserve the pardon because they were over-prosecuted. But this is, this is just stupid on stilts.
Well, the president himself seemed unsure today whether he still had a grip on his party's Senate conference.
But are you losing control of the Senate, sir? Are you losing control of the Senate, Senate Republican?
I don't know. I really don't know. I can tell you, I only do what's right.
Again, Republican Senator Mitch McConnell also weighing in tonight with a statement writing in part, so the nation's top law enforcement official is asking for a slush fund to pay people who assault cops. Utterly stupid, morally wrong. Take your pick. Perspective now from CNN senior political commentator Scott Jennings, the conservative talk radio host, and Democratic strategist Paul Begala. Scott, do you agree with Mitch McConnell there?
Well, I certainly agree that anybody who assaults a police officer should not be getting any payment. In fact, I think they ought to have to pay the victims and the victim's family. I don't think anybody who goes after cops directly ought to get any money at all. That's number one. Number two, I'm not surprised the president's having trouble with the Senate on this. A, he already had a few senators that weren't happy with him, and B, now there's a couple more that have nothing to lose really by standing up to him. So he's going to have some difficult legislative affairs over the next few months. The next point is it's $1.8 billion. I suspect some members of Congress are going to want to talk to him about that. Now, on the other hand, it's absolutely true that some people were over-prosecuted, as Tom Tillis said. In fact, the Supreme Court ruled that DOJ overreached with a specific statute in hundreds of cases. Some people were swept up unfairly. And I think if you have been treated unfairly by the government, you ought to be able to apply for some restitution. But whether this fund is the correct vehicle for that, I think the Congress is going to want to talk about that. And I'm not surprised the president's having trouble with it on Capitol Hill.
Paul, I mean, we obviously heard lawmakers express some concerns about some of the president's policies in the past from Republicans. They mostly seem to get on board in the end. Do you think that's going to happen here?
I don't know is the honest answer, but I was getting, well, Scott was talking, getting an update from the meteorological desk. Hell has frozen over. I was largely agreeing with Scott Jennings and completely agreeing with Mitch McConnell. I think this is likely to be kind of temporary. I mean, these folks in the Senate, these Republicans, they went along with confirming Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon, RFK Jr. at the Department of Health and Human Services, Kash Patel at FBI, that wrestling lady is running the Department of Education. They went along with everything, cutting Medicaid, cutting Obamacare. They went along with the Iran war. And I got to say, if we're going to compensate anybody, let's start with the families of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Peaceful, patriotic protesters. They weren't prosecuted, they were shot and killed. And I don't see, in fact, President Trump's aides slandered them, smeared them, called them terrorists. So this is not on the level. This is about, Mitch McConnell called it a slush fund. Far be it from me to disagree with Mitch McConnell. It's a slush fund. And
I think it's important to acknowledge there are people who deserve restitution after